stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Jet, we Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elder, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My ground repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Face, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack, Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man, A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant is with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he off of the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, and I'm back with another one. You know, we back in this mug. And we talking about the showdown that everyone you see in the back. You know what it's about. Make sure before you do anything else, wipe your feet when you get in my crib. Okay? Wipe your feet when you come into my crib. That's just hospitality. Can I get some cordialness? I mean, can I get some type of hospitality? I'm just saying, something, you know what I'm saying? So we in here. Shout out to my boy Mickens. Yes, sir. You caught a live show. I am live and in fact, all right. And we gonna get right into it. Shout out to my boy Blue. Listen, if you haven't seen the interview that Blue did with the athletic director of North Dakota State, the description and the link is in the description below. Check me out. And then listen, like I tell all you Bammers out there, if you don't like nothing I say, you can always
Unfollow me. If I make you feel some type of way, unfollow me. If low key you just hit a hey.
Hey, it is what it is. Do what you do, boy. Watch my shoes, okay? Here we go. Lottie Dottie, everybody, listen. The call lines are already open. Listen. So whenever you feel ready to call in, you know what I'm saying? I'll get to you when I get to you, but understand you might be waiting for a while, but I'm going to say my piece, though. Call lines are open, all right? Call lines are open as they always are. Let me go ahead and get this call line number fixed up for you, Bammers. All right, let me see. Boom, boom. All right, that's the call number. That's the call line, 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. All right, listen. So let's get into it. We talking showdown. Right? You know why we won't ever see this? You know why this won't be a headline? Because said school is scared. Said school is scared. And we gonna get right to the clip. Because I'm not here to play around with you Bammers, okay? I'm not here to play around with you Bammers. I'm going to give you straight facts out the horse's mouth, done by my boy Blue. Okay? And here it comes, straight no chaser.
Was on our show or North Dakota State and Jackson State. And there have been, I mean, if you could see the comment section sometime when those two schools come up,
First of all, you see how the AD coming? You see the national championship banner in the back, okay? And look at my boy Blue like a kid on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Boy got all the pearly whites out. He happy, okay? That boy happy than Uncle Clifford with Little Murder, okay? He happy. He is happy. But that's my boy, though. Let's get into it.
insane to watch. Has there been any talks? And if not, is that a school that North Dakota State is looking at with a huge stadium with 60K down there in Jackson that would be a potential home and home opponent for North Dakota State in the future?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some conversations with them, and you know, at this point there was an interest from.
Hold up, AD. Hold up, AD. I gotta do you like love and happiness. Love and happiness. Something that can make you do wrong, make you do right. Love. I gotta ask some questions. What's going on? Something's going wrong. Who's on the phone? Someone's on the phone. What time is it, Al? 3 o'clock in the morning. What's going on, AD? We gotta run that back just a tad.
We've had some conversations with them, and you know, at this point there was an interest from their end, and again, every school has different philosophies in terms of scheduling, and sometimes do the dates match up, and so as much as I know fan bases want things to happen, it just doesn't always match up with when we're open, when they're open, and you know, but at this point we had reached out because you know, again, I think. Okay, so let's get it straight. They reached out. Hey, what's up, Deion? Yeah, I'm gonna call you Deion because you ain't got no national championships. All right, I'm gonna call you Deion because you ain't got no national championships. Yeah, what's good, Deion? Yeah, we see what you're doing down there. What's good? You know what you trying to do a home and home? What's good with that? You know, my chain's in the shop. You know what I'm saying? I don't got enough number one players.
it just ain't looking good right now. Listen, real talk though, we just trying to dominate the SWAC, if I'm being honest. I'm really trying, listen, as long as Shador keeps throwing for 3,000 yards in the SWAC, I'm good. We good over here. That's what it sounds like to me. Sound like to me.
Coach Sanders is building a great program down there, and there's been a lot of hype and publicity, and they had great success last year, and so we like to go out and schedule teams that are really competitive and play at a high level, and I think there's.
Hold up. You said what, AD? You said North Dakota State likes to do what? Hold up, because I know a lot of people don't understand what competition looks like. So I'm gonna run that back, AD. What you just say?
Hype and publicity, and they had great success last year, and so we like to go out and schedule teams that are really competitive and play at a high level, and I think they're certainly one. And like I said, we've reached out, but at this point, that's not a direction they wanted to go in, and certainly respect that. Listen. Hey, listen. I shot my shot, but the girl turned me down.
If anybody ever comes on my call line talking about Jackson State can compete with any FBS program when they're scared to play the FCS national champions, get the hell off my line. I'm hanging up on all you Bamas. If anybody dumb enough to call my line, talk about some, yeah, Scotty, we ready for Alabama. Yeah, Scotty, we ready for this. Yeah, Scott, you ain't ready for shit. You ain't ready for schniggity. As my girl would say, you ain't ready for Nathaniel. Nothing. Nada, zip, nunca. You're not ready. You don't want the smoke. North Dakota says, look, bro, we love to go out and compete. We love to go out and watch that. We love to go out and schedule people who got hype and who got publicity. And we like to come in your trap and we like to take it over. White people don't say trap. They say we like to come in your neighborhood and take it over. Black people say trap. It's a different thing. Shout out to my boy Blue for this interview.
We've reached out, but at this point, that's not a direction they wanted to go in, and certainly respect that. Like I said, everybody has their own philosophy. So, but yeah, I mean, we're going to keep on trying to, not just Jackson State. We're going to keep on as we look across the country. We have some non-conference games coming up against some CAA opponents. We want to schedule against some of the better teams in the country. Because again, that goes back to our philosophy of trying to make sure that if we don't win the conference, that we have an opportunity to get in that large.
Two biggest fan.
Come on, man. Listen, this can't get no up. This is simple. You ducking. You are ducking the smoke. You don't want no trouble. Eyes don't want no trouble, North Dakotas. Eyes don't need no troubles. Eyes got a good boy. He's a good QB. And Eyes wants to see him go and does big things out in the NFL. But I don't want to see him play real competition. No, sir. We just as good as we can ever be in the SWAC. We just as good as we can ever be. He's trying to dominate the SWAC. Weeze is trying to, man, y'all better go on somewhere. Y'all better go on somewhere with that foolishness. Nobody better call my line talking about what Jackson State can and who they can be. Nobody. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, we can beat this team, we can beat that team, and you don't want to smoke with your own FCS conference. And then you know when Mr. Campbell gonna jump on, he gonna jump on, well, Scotty, they got funding. Scotty, they got this. Scotty, they got that. I don't care. You supposed to be that team. You supposed to be the HNIC. And you ducking. North Carolina A&T want the smoke. North Carolina A&T want the smoke. Hey, we gonna shoot up there. We gonna get our head beat in, but we gonna shoot up there. You got the number one. And listen, I'm gonna show you guys some stuff because you know me, I come with some stats. You know what I'm saying? This was Jackson. Let me fix my hat. This was Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Let me fix my stuff. Let me show you how similar these teams are really. They're not that far apart, honestly. Statistically wise, talent wise, who knows? So, number one FCS class in 2022. Jackson State was the number one in sacks in 2021. Fourth in scoring defense in 2021. Second in total defense in 2021. Second in third down defense in 2021. This is in all of FCS, right? Look at their counterparts. Third in defense in 2021. Third in total defense. Number 2 in rushing offense. And number 1 in score defense. That looks pretty damn similar to me. That looks pretty damn similar to me. You know, A and B. A and B. I'm just saying. It looks pretty damn similar to me. All right. Let me get to a caller. 7201 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. (7201) you live.
Yes, sir. What's going on? It's Mason Smith, man. Nice topping up with you.
What's good? Where you calling from?
I definitely. I'm calling from Tuscaloosa, but I'm from Georgia, and I, grew up in the SWAC. We've talked off air before, but this is my first time calling in, so I'm really excited to be on here.
Oh, hey,
but
man.
I'll definitely say, you make a lot of good points that Jackson State, they really want to reach that next level. It's about just literally taking it incrementally, dominating your conference, dominating FCS, before you even worry about the FBS. So you hitting the nail on the head. I want to agree with you. So they're not going to take that battle with North Dakota State. That's a really big red flag. So hopefully, the match that we all want is eventually going to come through. But if they're not going to do that, then it's really not worth, discussing the Alabamas or even the smaller schools like the UABs. They're also, high level as well. They need to take on the North Dakota States of the world. They really want to make their mark, because even us tradition, we're not really talking about tradition. The best way to do is just slowly but surely go through those people. That's the best way to prove your worth to me.
That's fair. I appreciate the call, man.
Yeah.
All right. Let me say this, because you got people. Listen. Nobody said you had to play this game tomorrow. Nobody said you had to play this game tomorrow, but you could have scheduled this. If Deion, I'm about to ruffle some feathers. I'm about to ruffle some Jackson State panties. Okay, because them Bamas already. Them Bamas are emotional. All right, them Bamas are. If everybody thinks Deion is going to be there as long as he is, you could have scheduled this game 2024 and 2025. That is Shedeur Sanders' senior year. That is Shedeur Sanders' senior year. So if all the freshman excuses and all that crap you want to give me, Travis would have been a junior. Shedeur is a senior. That's not a bad look. 2024, 2025. If Deion is going to be there as long as you think he's going to be there, that can be that. That's how home and homes work. It's a future schedule. You didn't have to play them Bamas tomorrow. Okay, you did. You just lost to South Carolina State. I don't think you can play with North Dakota State. But you could have scheduled this game 2024. You could have scheduled this game 2025. And the team is actually looking to do a home and home with you. So how can they not? You ducking. You Bamas is ducking. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. Y'all Bamas is ducking. Dre, coming to you. You live.
Man, first of all, Blue, that was a great interview. I watched the whole thing. While I was watching, the one thing I noticed is that he said he loves his home games. And what I've also noticed, in the past 10 years, they don't go down south for out-of-conference schedules. Look at the schedule. They don't go out of their conference schedule. They play in the Midwest out of conference. They don't go down south for anybody. Jacksonville State, Jackson State, Kennesaw State, they don't go down south for out of conference. So And that's in the last 10 years because I looked at their schedule while I was watching the interview. So I'm almost, that's almost like wondering. Both of us are from the military. That's almost like you being in the military for 10 years and not being deployed. You know what I'm saying?
But you know,
I mean, let's call it spade a spade, right?
But a little bit yes, and a little bit no, right? Because now they are going to Tennessee State, so that is a Southern. If you want to, that's about it. If that's about South, if you want to go.
But you know why they're doing that? The interview says because they want to play in a bigger stadium like Nashville. Going to Jackson ain't Nashville. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but Jackson still holds
60,000 black folks. Now Nashville is not Jackson. The environment is different. You know that.
I mean,
you know what I'm getting at? The environment. We both been to Jackson.
Listen, yeah, you're gonna get 55,000 blacks up in that joker. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay.
Right.
But that would come with a home field. That's what comes with a home field advantage. But this is my point, though. I get what you're saying. But if he's saying we reached out, that means they were okay with making that move.
See, the thing is, I wish Blue would have asked a follow-up question. Was that a home and home? Because that wasn't said. You see what I'm getting at? That's the follow-up question to that. Because he said he reached out. You know, that's like me asking you for $20. I just asked you for $20. You ain't tell me yes or no. So the next question is, was it a home and home? But if you look at their schedule, they out of conference schedule for the last 10 years. They don't go down south at all for out of conference at all. Like, that's a decade of you showing we don't like to play down south. We may recruit down, we may get a couple of receivers, but Midwest is where they're comfortable at. That's why they like folks to come up there. That's like, okay, you having a chick always come to your crib, but you don't want to never go to her crib.
But why? But think if you look at their schedule, let's call a spade a spade. They don't really have to leave their region because all the best teams are literally maybe 4 or 5 hours away. And then if they do decide to play a FBS team, you still got Iowa State, you got Iowa right there, you got Oregon down the street, you got Washington down the street. You know, so you can still get what you want to get from the people you're playing, because if we're being honest, most of the Southern teams aren't on the level of their own conference, of the Missouri Valley Conference.
I'm just saying out of state. I'm just saying like a home and home, because it's easy to sit there. Well, once again, I'll equate it to a female. I could give you gas money. Just come to the crib. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this.
I'll say this. It's easy to do that.
I'll say this. Hold on. I'll say this.
Okay.
If North Dakota State did not offer them a home and home, I would have turned that down as well. I will give if Jackson State was not given a home and home, I would have turned that down as well. I'm not about to come to Fargo 2 years running, it don't make sense.
And see, the thing is, I'm mad at A&T for not getting a home and home, because Greensboro, the city, has 3 million people. Greensboro is the third biggest city in North Carolina, and it's like 1 million. And Greensboro got 3 million, and we hold like 30,000 people. You got 30,000. Most of them, Fargo has less than 10,000 black people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you talking about, you imagine your team that is probably most of them Midwest, most of them from North Dakota, and they probably never seen 30,000 people in their life. That's a home advantage. So the follow-up question to Blue is, was it a home and home? Because he said, we like our home. We like having 6 home games. They don't like going. They schedule. The record says they don't like going down south playing out of state, out of conference games. The record says that. Over 10 years. So, they like playing. They like playing where they're comfortable. They like playing. They'll play in the Midwest, you know. But you ask them to come down south where the heat is. Nah, they ain't trying to do that. So I'm just saying. We got to tell both sides.
I'll say this.
If it was a home and home,
I just texted Blue and I asked him, did he because it could have been an offline discussion, you know, before they did the interview. So I just texted Blue. I said, would they have done a home and home with JSU? So we'll see what he responds with. But as of right now, I listen, because that doesn't. I will give you that. If there's not because that matters, because they chose Tennessee, but
I guarantee you Eddie George pushed for that. But also in his interview, he said he wants to play in a place like Nashville, metropolitan cities. He don't want to come to the country where it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different down south, and you know that. That you got some
it ain't that different.
It get uncomfortable.
South. Nah, it ain't. Hold on. It only depends on where you're going. It depends. Listen, it depends on it. Listen, it depends on where you're going, because you still have states like the University of Alabama that can go to it can fill up an all-white stadium. Auburn can go 40, 50, 60, 70,000 of all white people. So let's not act like white people ain't in the South. But when you're playing a Jackson State in Jackson, yes, that's a different environment than if you go into Nashville, where there's a mixed breed. So I understand.
Nashville's the country city capital of the world. Well, they're gonna feel real comfortable in Nashville.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay. So, but that's what I'm saying. So, Blue's in the chat. We'll see. Blue, did they say a home and home? Blue, did they say they wanted to do a home and home with Jackson State?
Because A&T didn't negotiate one. That's what I was pissed about. Because we should have negotiated a home and home. So, but it was a very good interview though. But I did my research. What I was doing, I was like, he made it clear he loves having his home games because that's an advantage and everything. He don't, but he all the teams he plays out of conference are Midwest. He don't go down south or out of conference.
It's no different. It's no different than Mr. Campbell talk about, fam, you don't leave Florida without a check. Like it ain't. You like. Let's not act like that's not a. Well, North Dakota's a little different because they got
10 years. For 10 years.
This is what Mr. Campbell said. He said Florida don't leave. I mean, they had to do it because of the MEAC.
For 10 years though.
Once again, they had to do it because the Delaware State and MEAC, you got to go all the way up to Delaware State to play, or Delaware State got to come all the way down. But if you're the best that's like Alabama. I don't have to leave the SEC footprint because we got the best teams. Nobody gets mad at Nobody gets mad at University of Alabama for never playing out of their footprint.
But they play in Oklahoma. They play in LA.
That is in their footprint. Oklahoma is a southern state. That is a hop, skip, and a jump. That ain't nothing.
Man, Oklahoma's Midwest.
Oklahoma is the South. Texas is this. What do you
really? According to who?
Oklahoma is Midwest. Oklahoma. No, anything above Oklahoma. You know what Texas called Oklahoma? They're little brothers. That's what Texas calls Oklahoma. That's the little brother because they're like literally attached to Texas. So that is not considered Midwest. Anything above Oklahoma is definitely considered Midwest because that's just too far up. But Oklahoma is not Midwest. Oklahoma is the South with Texas.
Okay. We agree to disagree. I definitely think Oklahoma is Midwest. I've never heard nobody say Oklahoma is the South.
Bro, the most Midwest either is like Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not like
Michigan.
Oklahoma is not Midwest. No way.
Okay. But it was a very good interview though. But I believe that's the question. Was it a home or home? Because they don't do many, and their record says they don't.
All right. We'll see. Well, they still ducking to me. But I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
I look at it like this. If you want the matchup, you get the matchup. I don't like, hey, listen, man, take the check. Take the check. Okay? Take the check. $350, $400, whatever it is. Take your ass up to Fargo, North Dakota, and go beat somebody. Go beat somebody. Okay? Now, listen, South is spelled with TH. All right? And listen, just because Oklahoma ain't in the gutter of the South, it is still considered a southern state. Stop playing me. It's below the Mason-Dixon line. Stop playing me. All right? Anyway, so that's my thing. You're still ducking. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. You're ducking. JB coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Scotty, how you doing, sir?
What's up, man?
Okay, so a little bit about this topic right here. First of all, watching the Primates trying to spin this is laughable. Let's bring up a little bit of history, if you don't mind. In 2017, North Carolina A&T went undefeated, And they were in the chat talking about, I guess social media talking about they were like undisputed champions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They were chirping just as much as J State is doing right now. And guess what? They were going back and forth with NDSU. So guess what happened? They decided to schedule a game in Fargo in 2020. Now, because of COVID, that game did not take place. So guess what? They're playing this upcoming season, 2022, I think September 10th, I believe, in Fargo, North Dakota. So they're talking about having to schedule games year out and stuff like that. Guess what? A&T was able to get a game with Fargo. With NDSU, just like that. So now the other excuse that people use is that they say, okay, well, JSU's building something. It's only year 2. Okay, let me ask you something, Scotty. And you're a very smart guy. How many coaches aren't trying to quote unquote build something?
Yeah, all coaches are.
The whole thing about trying to exactly. All coaches are trying to build something. So guess who else is in year 2? Eddie George at Tennessee State. And guess what they got this year? Their first game of the season is at top 25 Eastern Washington University. Now, if you go online and check out what the stadium looks like, Roos Field, I think is what it's called, you'll see that ugly-ass red turf there. But guess what? They agreed to play that game. They're also talking about playing a home-and-home with NDSU, I think, in 24 and 25, something like that. So the reason why JSU looks bad in all this crap is because they're doing so much talking. They're talking to them, well, we got to wait till we get our guys developed. Wait till we get our guys developed. And Jordan's like, dude, let's go. You either want the smoke
or you don't. Facts.
That's all this is. And then, of course, watching the interview today, and by the way, Blue, I hope you call in because that was a great interview that you did. They mentioned, and I think Blue answered in the chat, they talked about playing in Jackson. So what's the excuse? If you're not ready, say you're not ready. But don't talk about how you're trying to, quote unquote, build a future, trying to build a dynasty. And you have other newer head coaches, newer HBCU head coaches wanting the smoke. This makes JSU look scared. They're afraid.
Simple.
That's all it is. Just admit it.
Let me ask you this.
So that's all I got.
Let me ask you this, JB.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure. Do you think it's more or less that he doesn't want to embarrass his team by going up to North Dakota State? Or is it just that they really don't want to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you can be like, you know what? I really just don't, like, that game doesn't really make sense for us. Or is he scared that he doesn't want to get his team embarrassed about how far behind they really are?
I think it's a little bit of both because I don't know if you had mentioned this or someone else had mentioned this, but I think like his documentary came up and not a lot of coverage of the Celebration Bowl was in there. I think we also know that Deion does not like being embarrassed. He does not like looking bad. And I think it will look worse because of all of the chatter that they do. It will look worse because of all of the talking they do on social media. It will look worse because of all the sound bites they have, because of guys on Twitter, the guys in these like different spaces, the guys on social media just talking about how great they are. And then someone says, okay, I'll see how good you are. And then they run from it. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Rocky movies, Scotty. Rocky 3, where it's like Rocky was winning. He fights Mr. T. Clubber Lane's character. Mickey says, no, you're not going to fight him. Rocky wants to fight him. And then Mickey says, you're not ready, you're not good enough yet, but you've been winning this whole time. And then you go in that fight and you get embarrassed. I think deep down he knows his team is not ready. However, it doesn't look good when you talk about you're not ready, stuff like that. He's only year 2, but another second year head coach is wanting to smoke. He's getting $1 million to play Notre Dame, their first ever FCS game. You're playing a top 25 Eastern Washington ball club. You're working on a home and home against the 9-time FCS champ. I think this is all about trying to protect Jackson State's and Deion's ego.
You know what? I like the comparison of what you did with Eddie George and Deion trying to build the same thing and going about it 2 different ways. I think that this is my thing when it comes to competition, right? At the end of the day, what matters is what you do in your conference. We all understand that. That's how all this stuff works. But what makes you look better is when you do step out of your conference, you go beat a North Dakota State, you go play at Eastern Washington, and you make it can either be competitive, a blowout, or you win. You know what I'm saying? That's just how football goes. But I think that you prepare your team for the tough games when you go play tough competition. So I'm so glad you brought up the Eddie George. I totally forgot about they're pretty much in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? And Eddie wants to smoke, and Deion does not. Because if I'm being honest, he just wants to protect Shador and his NFL stock. Because when you start playing him against the big boys, and he's just not doing what you think he's supposed to do or what he's supposed to do and lead his team, you know what I'm saying? Even in a loss, you know what I'm saying? I think listen, this is me being honest. If Shador goes to North Dakota State and throws for 353 tubs and a pick and a loss, that means more to me than if he went to the SWAC and against FAMU threw for 400 yards, you know what I'm saying, and two touchdowns or however, because we know what North Dakota State is. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal opinion. So if you really want to get your game film up, go play a better competition.
And Scott, there's one more thing I want to mention also before I get on the phone and whatnot. People make such a big deal about how JSU is getting all these NFL coaches, getting 5-star athletes and stuff like that. I looked at NDSU's coaches and personnel stuff like that. They don't have any 5-star players. I don't think any of their coaches like any big time NFL stars. They're all homegrown and they all develop. I think the biggest spirit we're talking about here is like JSU. They're making a big deal about guys they're recruiting, all these big time potential draft potentials. Now, how that would look, well, I'm sorry, before I get into that part, I think there's a difference between getting talent and having guys being developed. Does JSU know how to develop players? That still has yet to be proven. Sure, you can get the 5 stars, you get all the top athletes to go play for you. But if you're going against a monster who actually knows how to develop lesser talent that are not big time players and stuff, then guess what? That says more about your program than anything else. That just says, wait a minute, what are you guys doing down there?
That's fair. Hey, JB, man, I appreciate the call, bro.
Sure, sir.
All right, man. I'm going Rocky, then Ryan. All right, Rocky, then Ryan. Coming to you after this, Ryan. Hey, what's up, Rock?
Hey, what's up, Scotty?
What's good?
Man, you always picking on poor little JSU, man. How
am I picking on them? They the ones that be calling in here talking about we could beat North Dakota State. We could beat Alabama. We could beat this team and beat that team. Go ahead, Rock.
So what I'm saying is you want them to go pick on the biggest bully in the playground and thump him on the forehead. And you about the bully's 250, you 135 right now. You may end up being something. You may end up being a monster at some point, but you're not one right now. Like that's just the reality. You're not a one from the depth perspective. You're not one from the resource perspective. And to me, to be perfectly honest with you, there is not the coaching depth on the sideline for JSU to compare what is over at North Dakota State. So you're gonna be
hold up
out, and they have much better winning.
Hold up, Rock. Oh, no, I can't let you get away with that. Oh, because you're slowly but surely you're actually making an indictment against Jackson State. You're saying, because I remember when Jackson State first came on the scene and Deion was sitting in the table and how much years of experience you got? How much years of experience? So they got over 60 years of NFL playing experience and some coaching experience or whatever, right? So you're telling me that the Jackson State coaching staff, including Mike Zimmer now, they didn't have him before, but let's take Mike Zimmer away. So you're saying Jackson State's coaching staff is not even comparable to North Dakota's coaching staff, and they have no NFL experience? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, no. So yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying North Dakota State then had 2 first-round quarterbacks drafted in the last 5 years, right? These are first-round drafted quarterbacks. Jackson State or Deion have any pelts on the wall comparable to that? No, I'll answer the question. When the last time Jackson State had a first-round player drafted, period?
Well, I mean, Deion just got there Deion just got there last
and that's
year.
That's what I'm saying, Scotty. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Hold up, time out.
They just got here.
But I'm not telling you to schedule it. I just said that in the beginning of the show. I'm not telling you to schedule it tomorrow. That's how out-of-conference games work. You can schedule it for Shadur's senior year, 2024 and 2025, or 2023, 2024. You can do his junior and senior year, so you can miss me with that. That's how out-of-conference games work. We're scheduling for the future. Oh, okay. So, all right. You should say scheduling for the future, right? I can see this in one. I can see next year and maybe the year after. But I thought your critique was right now they don't have any. No, you're when I say they're ducking, they're ducking scheduling. That's fair. Yeah. If you expecting to have a monster at some point, then you go ahead and schedule 1 or 2 years out those teams that are going to give you an opportunity to shock the world. You want the champ when you feel like you're going to be at your strongest. And I definitely think they should be scheduling North Dakota State in maybe 2, maybe even 3 years, man. But North Dakota State is a monster, bro. They're a monster. They're like nothing the SWAC has ever seen since I've been watching them anyway. You know what I mean? My whole thing they operate on a totally different level. My thing is this. This is the time you schedule the game for 2024. This is the time that you schedule the game for 2024. It's not when 2024 hits. That's not how that works. You're like, hey, man, listen, we building something here. You know what I'm saying? By 2024, Shadur's a senior. Travis is a junior. You know what I'm saying? Cam's a senior. I got a lot of freshmen that have been playing for 3 years that are all now seniors. That's when you walk up to the table and you say, let's make this happen. But for you not to schedule the game at all, oh, no, that's not really what we looking for. It's like, bro, what are we doing? Because they just did it with Tennessee State. 2023 and 2024, they're playing Tennessee State home and home. That's the same thing that Jackson State could have had. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And actually, Jackson State's a better opponent. Well, you made your case for that one, Scotty, that in the future, you're right. They should be looking to schedule top-notch opponents, especially since Jackson State alumni and the Primettes are threatening to go up to a Power 5 level. So yeah, they should be they should be scheduling that kind of competition. I agree, but I just think I don't know what the timeline is, but I definitely would give them 1 more year. I would let this season play out before I take on that top level competition. Man. And this is what kills me, right? I'm gonna say this, and this is what bothers me. They got Texas State on the schedule, I think 2023, and then ULM 2024 or some crap like that, right? See, this is the case. They go play at Texas State or ULM. They'll say, well, we weren't supposed to win that game anyway. Why? Because they were FBS. You see what I'm saying? You see the cop-out excuse that you already got? But an FCS team, that just because they're a better FCS team doesn't mean they're not on the same level as you. They're just better than you. That's something different. But when you go up and play an FBS team and you end up losing, the cop-out excuse is always going to be, well, they're FBS. You know, we weren't supposed to win. They have 85 scholarships. North Dakota State got the same scholarships you got. They don't even have the #1 recruiting class like you got. They don't got the 5-star #1 player that you got. So what are we talking about right now? It's just hard for me to believe. But let me answer this, Scotty. Is it more important that they prove themselves to be elite, or is it more important that they ride the momentum that Prime has and continue to elevate their status in college football? What is more important right now for both Jackson State and the SWAC overall? I think for me is I'm taking. Listen, Jackson State in this Jackson State is not trying to bring the SWAC up. I want to make that very clear. What they're doing is they're making everybody get better talent, but that's not the goal of Jackson State is to be like, oh, I'm gonna bring everybody up. That's not the goal. The goal to me and Deion, and the goal that Deion should be on is I'm trying to build the best damn FCS team possible. Why? Because I'm going to show when I leave Jackson State, I'm going to show FBS teams what I'm about. So I really think it should be about Deion's coaching, Deion's recruiting, and him being able to go up to a North Dakota, go to a South Dakota State, go to a Montana, and play the top 5 or top 10 teams and be competitive. That's what it's about. I took a low resource. If I'm Deion, this is how I'm thinking. I took a low resource institution, put my touch on it. We built it up in 3 years and went and go play North Dakota State or Montana and lost by 3 or won by 7. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference.
Or pulled a FAMU and get mollywopped.
That's part of football. Is that not part of football? You either gonna win or you gonna lose or you gonna get molly. They got mollywopped by South Carolina State.
You know the rule in sports. I go to the other side of the world to get a win, but I won't go across the street to get an ass with me.
Sir, they went to South Carolina State and got drug. So you think that's bad? I rather whoa, no sir, no 3110 is a drugging. I don't care how. I don't give a damn 3.
No. What I'm saying is what I'm saying is that was to me that was emblematic of the other team being more prepared than Jackson State. That wasn't an indictment on talent.
Drug is drug.
That wasn't an indictment on
Rocky. Come on, bro. I don't want to hear none of that. That's all excuses. If you're supposed to be that's like, okay, if Jackson State goes up and beat North Dakota State 31-10, what you gonna say? Jackson State was just more prepared? Oh, North Dakota State took them light? No, you gonna say they got their ass drugged.
Scotty, do you actually think those 18, 19-year-old kids at Jackson State was taking South Carolina as serious as they would some other opponents?
That's not my problem. You got drugged. That's what happens. If you showed up and got your ass, well, I don't care. That's on the coaching for not having their team prepared. That's on you. That's not on South Carolina State.
Exactly.
So what we talking about? Because let me tell you this. If Jackson State was to schedule North Dakota State, walk up there and beat them 31-10, you think anybody from Jackson State gonna be like, well, they just weren't prepared. They took us light. Nobody's going to say that, Rock. Stop playing with me.
I know they're not going to say it because a Jackson State fan is really not going to be objective about what happened, right? I clearly understand what happened at the Celebration Bowl. I watched enough football to understand that the game was not an indictment on the talent or the program. The outcome of the game was an indictment on the level of preparation and the level of execution by each team. That's what decided the game. It wasn't the talent. It was not the talent. You know that, Scotty. Now they got their ass whooped. I agree with you. They got an ass whooping, but it was not because South Carolina State had superior talent or a much better program. It was about those kids executing on that day and they being supremely prepared and the halftime adjustment. I'll give you that. But it was not an indictment on talent at all.
All right. Hey, appreciate the call, Rock. Let me tell you, FAMU needs to be rescheduled in Southeast Louisiana. Okay, that's what FAMU needs to worry about. FAMU needs to worry about how they gonna get their lick back from Southeast Louisiana, whooping y'all ass the way they did. Don't worry about North Dakota State, FAMU. Worry about Southeast Louisiana and getting your lick back because you got your ass whooped. Okay, that's what they need to be focused on. Trying to reschedule that game. Let's not play that game. Ryan, coming to you. Hey, what's up, Ryan? You live?
Hey, look, only thing I'm saying is, man, we're doing a lot of speculation. So, Deion whole thing been about money, making money for the program. So, we don't know. Like I said, I wish Blue would answer the question. Did the AD say, because I listened to the interview, did the AD say they wanted a home and home with Jackson
Blue
State?
just texted me. He said yes, just like they did one. He said yes, just like they did one with Tennessee State. That's why I made sure to specifically ask about a home and home. So yes, they were open to doing a home and home with Jackson State. Next question.
And what was the issue? Was it scheduled? Did it have something to do with scheduling or what?
He said, the AD said they were not interested at that time. That's what he said about Jack State. He said we reached out. They were not interested at that time.
Okay, cool. Only thing I was telling you is we're doing a lot of speculating right now. Like I said, it's hard for me to believe. It's hard for me to believe. Like you got like Deion got to put on pads or something. Like he's scared. What are you scared of?
Bro, you don't think you got to be. So you're telling me that the coach is not going to protect his team? If he feels like his team isn't ready to play North Dakota State.
His team is the number one recruit. What would he got the best team, obviously. The number one recruiting class.
Does not mean
what
you're the
is
best
he scared of? He has the best team.
Does not mean you're the best. The number one recruiting class does not mean you're the best team. You know why? Because you just got your ass beat by South Carolina State.
Coaching matters.
You got your ass beat by. If you had the number one team, you got your ass beat by South Carolina State. Make that make sense to me.
Oh, Jesus.
Make that. No, I'm asking. You said you got a number one team. You got your ass beat. Make that make sense. So number one recruiting classes doesn't mean anything. North Dakota State rarely has the number one recruiting class and wins national championships.
Let me ask you a question. Did Jackson State drag Texas Southern? Last year, did they drag Texas Southern?
They beat them.
Did they drag them? I'm asking.
I don't think so.
South Carolina State drug Jackson State. Did they drag Texas Southern?
I don't think so.
Okay, but the score was the same. The point differential was the same.
No, whoa. The point differential was the same.
40,
the score was not the same. 31 to 10.
21, right?
It was 21 to 40. That's two different scores, my boy. 31 to 10.
19 to 21.
No. That's sir. No team had scored 21 points on you guys. Texas Southern was the only team at that point to put up 21 points on you guys. So no, the score
and
was
they put up 40, and Jackson State put up 40
with
on
a Texas Southern team that had no defense. What are we talking about right now? What are we talking about right now? So you put 40. You put 40 on Texas Southern, which was second to last in defense. You put 60 on Alabama, which was dead last in defense. And then when you went to go see South Carolina State, what happened? That ass got taxed, and you put up 10 points, and you put up 30, and they got put up 31. What are we talking about right now?
I'm trying to get you to make it make sense. You say you talking about the point.
We talking about North Dakota State. We not talking about Texas Southern. We're talking about North Dakota State. You said no. They did drug you. They drug you.
But Jackson State didn't drag Texas Southern.
My thing is this. How in the world have we gone from the MEAC beating you? We talking about North Dakota State. You said we got the number one recruiting class. We're the best team. Why should he be scared? But they're ducking North Dakota State. Answer that question, Ryan.
Scotty, my point is, like I said, ain't nothing to talk about on that because you speculating. You don't know. You wasn't in the conversation. You don't know what the deal was. You don't know what the parameters of the deal was.
I'm not speculating. The AD had an interview with Blue. You saw it.
And then what did the AD say? The AD said it's numerous reasons why a team might decide not to play.
Did you miss that part? We reached out, and they were not interested at this point in time. That's what was said.
Why?
That's what was said. Why? That's what it said.
Okay, and why?
You could have made it. They could have made it happen. If you feel like
what's the why? We talking about the why. You speculate. That's what I'm speculating. What's the why?
The same energy that you have about being the number one recruiting class, then they should have scheduled the game. You said they got number one.
I'm talking. Listen. Now we talking. You don't want to answer the question. What's the why? Did you ask the AD the why? The AD
it wasn't my interview to ask. It wasn't my interview to ask. It wasn't my interview to ask.
So you're on your show speculating.
I know that he said, listen to me very carefully. I know that he said, the AD, this is all I can speak to, is that he said, we reached out, they were not interested.
Right. Why? Why were they not interested?
That's all I can speak to. That's all. I just said that's all I can speak to, that they weren't interested. Okay. That means you're ducking.
I agree, Scotty. So now you're on here speculating the why. You don't know the why. You're speculating the why.
That means you're ducking.
Okay, that's your
5939 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty? How are you?
What's good?
Yeah, I live in Minneapolis, and I graduated from Jackson State, and I do have an opinion.
I'm listening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. I think maybe one of the reasons we didn't schedule it is because the game would probably be better played in Chicago, You feel me? Like set up as a classic. And imagine, I don't think it's because Jackson State is scared, because I would ask you, what would be ULM's record if they were in the Missouri Valley last year? You know, amongst the
probably like
the
three,
Giants,
probably like 3-8,
is,
probably like 3-8
in the Missouri Valley Conference with South Dakota State and North Dakota State.
Probably like 3-8, probably like 3-8.
Okay. Okay. Would you say if we're willing to play ULM twice in 2 years, and we're also going to play Texas State, would you say that which probably are both programs are probably capable of beating NDSU, just from a talent wise and a coaching standpoint?
I thought ULM would have lost to North Dakota State this year, point blank. Period.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What about Texas State? That's fair. I'll do that.
I can't. Now that's one I can't speak on. I don't know what Texas State. I haven't seen Texas State up close and personal, but I know for a fact North Dakota State would have drugged ULM, point blank. Period.
Fair. What? And then also, you know, Fargo, you can only put 20,000 people can fit in that stadium.
I'll say this. I'm bringing up this Missouri Valley Conference. I'm looking at right now. North Dakota State was 14-1. Missouri State was 8-4. South Dakota State was 11-4. Southern Illinois was 8-5. South Dakota was 7-5. Northern Iowa was 6-6. So let me say you play 11 game conference. You play 8 conference games. Yep. I will give you 4-4 in the conference. Jackson State probably would have went 4-4 in the conference.
I disagree. We would have been the third best team. Behind,
shut up! Shut your ass up! The third best team. So you're telling me you would have beat South Dakota State, North Dakota State, or Missouri State as the best teams in the conference? Nigga, you bugging. You are smoking crack.
Scotty, I don't think you heard me, bro. I said the third best team behind NDSU and South Dakota State. Jackson State would have been the third best team.
No way possible. You're not beating Missouri State. You probably won't even beat Southern Illinois. What are we talking about right now?
Missouri State wasn't that good, brother. Hold on. They were
6-2 in the conference. They were 6-2 in the conference, and they weren't that good. Yep. They lost to Oklahoma State by 7. They lost. They beat South Dakota State.
Yep.
They lost to North Dakota State by 7. They beat North Dakota by 10. By 16. They beat Northern Iowa. They beat Southern Illinois, and they lost to UT Martin by 1 point. And you're telling me that Jackson State would have beat? Boy, you are smoking. What are you smoking?
No, I'm not. But so you're saying the degree of how good Missouri Valley State was. What would you say the degree in terms of them being better than Jackson State? We just disagree on that.
Go ahead. Finish your point.
Now, I will
finish your point.
Yeah, my point is that Fargo, North Dakota, there's only 20,000 people that can fit there, in that stadium. So from a financial standpoint, it makes no sense. But Jackson State, I don't think we're scared. We have ULM twice. We have Texas State. And now if the game was going to be in Chicago and they did it and maybe 3 SWAC schools played 3 Missouri Valley, if on a Friday night, St. Thomas played Bethune-Cookman, and then they had 2 games on Saturday, South Dakota State played Southern, and then for the Saturday night game, it'd be Jackson State against NDSU. I think our AD would entertain that, but I don't think anybody's scared. I don't think anybody's scared.
I'm glad you feel that way. Do you have any other point?
Yeah. My point is, another thing is too, let's talk about NDSU, because I've seen when they beat University of Minnesota in 2009. They're a good team. They beat Iowa. They have an FBS level offensive line. But outside of having a dominant offensive line, and remember Trey Lance. I saw him today. I went to the Vikings. I was at Eagan, Minnesota. I saw the dual practice between the 49ers and Vikings today. I took the day off from work. Remember Trey Lance? He was a 3-star, right? Jerry Kill didn't give him an offer to play quarterback. He gave him an offer as an athlete. He was a 2-star. He was a 2-star. Marshall came out of Marshall, Minnesota. They have an okay football program. NDSU recruits Minnesota very well, but outside of offensive linemen, they're not really special. Remember, Carson Wentz wasn't even the starting quarterback. He got in because the Easton kid had got injured. North Dakota State ain't nothing special, brother. They just have a lot of championships, and they do have a strong program. They're nothing like spectacular.
They're nothing. Hold on. They're nothing special. They have a lot of championships. They're not. Let me say that again. They're nothing special, but they had a lot of championships. You haven't won a championship until this year. The last 10 years, you didn't even know what a SWAC championship looked like. So what are you talking about?
How many SWAC championships do we have, Scotty?
Sir,
come on, brother.
How many do we have? 9 national championships. How many national championships do you have? How many national championships do you have? How many national championships do you have? How many SWAC championships do you have in the last 10 years?
Bro,
how many SWAC championships do you have in the last 10 years?
That's fair. That's fair.
I know it is. Answer the question. How many SWAC championships do you have in the last 10 years?
That's fair.
How many national championships? How many national championships did North Dakota State have in the last 10 years?
That's fair. They have
you guys are not the same. You guys are not the same. You don't know what a program is. You don't know what greatness looks like, okay? In the last 10 years, you don't know what greatness looks like. Anyway, continue on. What are we doing? What are these Bama smoke? And you see why I got to put Bamas in their place? What the hell is Bama smoking tonight? Oh, Scotty, they're not a good program. Oh, Scotty, they don't know. They're nothing special with 9 national championships. They're nothing special, Scotty. They're nothing special. You're not the same. In the last 10 years, you don't even know what greatness looks like. What? Are you shitting me right now? If anything, you should be bigging up the coaching staff from North Dakota State that they offered a 2-star kid that was an athlete, saw the wherewithal to make him a quarterback, developed his ass, and he's a top 5 pick. But that's the ignorance of Jackson State fans. They can't even see the light. They don't even know what development looks like. What are we talking about right now? Oh, he's nothing special, Scotty. He was a 2-star. He was a 2-star that became a top 5 pick. What? Bama's is bugging, and y'all want. Well, all y'all get on here, all they want to get on here is cry. What? Man, you better sit your dumb ass down somewhere. 1714 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live, man. My patience is on E today. It's really on E today, so y'all better be on your best behavior. What's going on, caller?
What's going on, man?
What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Mobile, man.
All right. I hope they got some more. I hope they got some sense down in Mobile other than Jackson. But go ahead.
Yeah, we got some sense, man. Well, look, those Jackson State fans, they're delusional now because Deion there. They worse than Cowboy fans. We already know that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just wanted to kind of just jump on that North Dakota thing.
Come out. You about to get hung up on. Don't do no Cowboy slander on here. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm a diehard.
My brother Cowboy fan. My brother Cowboy fan.
Diehard. I don't need no slander. I don't need no slander on here. You keep it. Listen.
I know. Keep it above the belt. 45 years. It's been above 45 years.
Keep it above the belt, sir. Don't play with me. All right. I told you. My patience is on E. Don't play with me. Keep it above the belt. Go ahead.
The North Dakota State thing, I think it was like this. They probably called. They want to do a home and home. That was not the case. That's probably what they wanted to come there and play them twice. With that third year probably being an option to come to Jackson, maybe not, because Alabama State went through the same thing with South Alabama when South Alabama had just played their first year as a D1 college, and they tried to give Alabama State that same deal. And Alabama State said, "No, you can do a 2-for-2 at our house, and that third year will be an option." but we ain't doing it no other kind of way. And they hung the phone up. So that right there, what that AD did, that was just a bunch of lip service. I don't think he called Jackson State and said, we want to do it home and home, because they don't go nowhere. And all they championships, from what I've seen, they be winning them things at home. I haven't seen one yet. They had won a championship in the last 5 years where it was on the road. I'm sorry. That means something too.
Sir.
Now people might say,
sir,
a champion is still a champion. I'm not gonna knock,
sir.
They pedigree,
sir.
They program and
Sir.
listen.
Sir.
Go ahead,
sir. I thought you said they had some sense of mobile. Do you know where the national championship game is played?
I really don't keep up with the small ball.
What is Bama's talking about tonight? Oh my! I gotta hang up on Bama's tonight. What are we doing? What are we? They have never won anything on the road. They haven't won any championship on the road. Do you know where the national championship is played? Oh, I really don't keep up with. Why are you talking? Why are you talking to me, sir? What are we doing? What are we doing? What the crap? What the hell is going on tonight? Jesus freaking Christ. They ain't got no sense down in Mobile either. Come on, man. Y'all, man, y'all got to stop. Mr. D coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
What's going on, Scotty? Look, I'm tired of this. The question is, people kept saying, why did JSU said no? I'm going to tell you the answer to the why, okay? The AD made that call, and Deion and AD told him no, and this is the why. Deion does not have confirmation that his O-line and defensive line can handle North Dakota State. That's the bottom line. He's not worried about the wide receiver D-back. It's the O-line and it's the upfront boys protection. That is the why. If JSU, based on the changes that they got, dominate the SWAC, then Deion will make that call to NDSU. That is the why. And I guarantee you that is the reason. Holler at you later.
All right, Mr. D, appreciate the call. Listen, man. What's that song? If you don't know me by now, you just don't know. Listen, if it ain't fixed by now, it just ain't gonna be fixed. If it's not fixed by now, it will never, ever be fixed. It won't be fixed. If you ain't fixing it by now, you're not developing anybody. Let's be very clear. You're not developing anybody. You're just bringing in transfers like hired gun. If they not fixed by now, they ain't never gonna be fixed. Jesus freaking Christ, man. Listen, man, y'all Jackson. Y'all listen, Mobile ain't got no sense tonight. Jackson State ain't got no sense tonight. Jackson, Mississippi ain't got no sense. Ain't nobody got no sense. Ain't nobody got no sense. Bridge is coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Daddy, I know who do got some sense. South Carolina got some sense. South Carolina got some sense. How about 4th and 14? That's got a lot of sense right there.
Jesus Christ.
But no joking to the side. Deion protecting this player, just to be honest. He protecting them because you can tell he protecting them because they would try to get a money game. Doesn't matter who they would play in Division I. They can play the worst team in Division I to get a money game just to see where they at. You don't have to play Alabama. You don't have to play the top dog. Go and play Wake Forest or something. Like they really can't hurt y'all. Wake Forest can't really hurt y'all that bad. They don't even really care about football. That's a baseball school. So like that's just my thing. If you're ducking them, then you're ducking all D1 schools too. To be honest, all D1 schools, no matter if they haven't been to a bowl game in 10 years or if they have been to a bowl game in 10 years. And to be honest with you, he should be calling FAMU because they're the ones that made it to the playoffs and playing other competition. That's the only SWAC team that really play other competition, strong competition, not no weak competition, strong competition that went to the playoffs year in and year out. To be honest, we don't see any other teams that have made it to the playoffs in the SWAC.
Yeah.
Then the dude talking about small ball. The SWAC was small ball. We must be drinking on some younger juice tonight. Well, y'all must be going out tonight. Y'all must have been drinking on some younger juice and just call it in before y'all go out.
Got to. It's ridiculous.
It's because the stuff y'all saying is blasphemy. If Stephen A. heard some of the stuff y'all said, he would have just stopped the show and said, I'm done. Y'all must give me your first take. I almost had to stop the show and said I was done.
Man.
I had to think about it myself. If I'm doing the show.
Man, listen, I'm about to start hanging up on Bama's, man. I ain't even about to deal with no dumb stuff tonight. Just hanging up on people, boy. But hey, Bridges, man, appreciate the call as always, boy.
No problem.
All right, man, peace. Hey, listen, man. Somebody said South Carolina State. South Carolina State ain't scared. They play Clemson, South Carolina University. Look at this damn schedule. Where my poster at? Where my poster at? Boy, if I can find my poster, I swear for Lord. Let me see. Hold on. Where this poster at? Hold on. You want to see what a non-scared schedule looks like? Central Florida, North Carolina A&T, South Carolina University. Look at those first 4 games. This is what they are. You are not the same. These two are not the same. Do you hear me? This is what a tough schedule looks like. We are not the same. Stop playing with me. That's why they dusted your ass 31-10. They are not the same. South Carolina State don't run from anybody. They're not the same. Coach Buddy Pugh could be saying the same exact thing. Well, you know, we're offensive line. We're just, our offensive line just isn't big, and our defense. There ain't no excuses. We just gonna show up and play. Guess why Bama's get drafted? Guess why Bama's get drafted? Jesus freaking Christ. 3751 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty? This is Mike from Maryland representing the MEAC.
DMV,
hey,
you're
man.
good with me. Come on now, let's go.
You already know, man. But as a former Marine, I want to know, why are you building up all this artillery if you ain't ready for war?
Come on.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You just have a poppy? You have some type of poppy show going on? You got 4 or 5-star athletes everywhere, and you scared of somebody? Man, I lost a lot of respect for Deion and JSU because, man, if I got 4 or 5-star athletes everywhere, man, I'm going up to Fargo. I'm going to get my check, and I'm going to win the game. That's how I think. And that's one thing I have to give North Carolina A&T a lot of respect. When they was building their program for the last 10 years, it was anytime, any place, any venue. We're going up there to get a check. We're going to kick your ass, and we're going back to Greensboro with your money and celebrating.
Come on.
I don't understand this, man. You got Travis Hunter. You got Malachi Wyman. You got all these great players, and you scared to go up to Fargo or go to Jerry World. Tell Jerry Jones we're going to play the same at Jerry World. I guarantee you have 80,000 people in the stand.
Easy.
Right? That'd be one of the biggest games of the year. Man, like you running, man. Like 3-6 Mafia say, you running. JSU running. That's it.
Man, listen, I love it. I love it. You see how Maryland becoming? You see how Marylanders becoming? We don't play that stuff. Marylanders don't play with the DMV. We different. You see how Maryland come? You see that Maryland energy? You see, we ain't about all that good. Oh my God. Oh, he's in his second year. Ain't none of that. That DMV energy, we different. Come on, man. DMV, you're good with me. That's how you show up and represent. I don't know what the hell they doing down in Mobile. I don't know what they smoking on down in Jackson. But Maryland, we move different, baby. Okay. Come on, man. Stop playing with us. All these, man, come on, man. Now you got me. I'm hyped now. Let's get it. All right, 2523 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, Scotty, this is James from North Carolina. Long time listener, second time caller. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Talk to me.
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what they smoke. They're smoking on dope. I'm sitting there and listen to these conversations like, what the hell is going on? Like the last man just said, you got all this artillery but don't want to go to war. Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, are you scared of something? North Carolina A&T clearly ain't scared. Now I tell you what, I know for a fact South Carolina State ain't scared.
Come on.
This is like I said. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a JSU fan, but I'm a huge Deion fan. He dropped some levels on my point. That ain't a good look. Especially when Blue just said that man said they want to do a home and home. So what the hell are these other people talking about? Talking about there's different factors. Fuck factors. Excuse my language. Excuse my language.
You good?
But to hell with all that.
You good?
To hell with all that, man. You can't assemble this. No, this shit is embarrassing. You can't assemble a team like that and then be scared. When the number one team come calling, you ducking? What the fuck?
Come on.
Like man. I said, excuse my profanity, but this was embarrassing. This was a bad look. Ain't nothing cool about that. I don't care what nobody say. You can't call yourself. I don't want to hear no more JSU fans talking about something. They're the baddest team. You're not. That is, like I said, like I said, great interview by Blue. But when I heard it, I was like, I kind of knew in the back of my, I was saying in the back of my mind, please don't tell me JSU was scared. Please don't tell me they're scared, and they were scared.
Absolutely.
Eddie George was scared.
Not even. He a second-year coach. He a second-year coach, just like.
Yeah, no.
Come on, man.
And he didn't sign any 5-stars.
Come on.
Like this, like what are people talking about? Like I said in the beginning, clearly people in Alabama and Mississippi clearly smoking dope because they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I love it.
Like I said, that ain't my state, so I ain't concerned about them. I know my state, my team. No, my state, my team. We going to play them. We ain't scared.
I love it. I love
like
it.
I said, let me get back to work. But I love your show, man.
Hey, appreciate the call, bro. Listen, sometimes cursing is good for the soul. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this channel is all about. You got to get it out. Sometimes y'all ain't making no sense when you get it out, but you got to get it out. Okay? Sometimes you got to get it. Hey, Paris, listen, it's okay. You don't got to be. It's okay. Y'all, it's okay. Y'all, we all know you Bamas is ducking. It's okay. It's okay. Y'all scared of the smoke. Okay? Y'all are scared of the smoke. It's all right. It's all right. Okay? It's all right. All right. Hey, 9762 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
This is Gabriel from Memphis.
What's up, G?
What's going on, man?
What's up?
You know, okay, when I first came on tonight and I saw your thumbnail, you know, JSU versus North Dakota State.
Yeah.
I was getting kind of excited. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. and then you dropped the bomb on me and kicked me dead in the damn gut. I'm like, damn. You know, Ric Flair once said, to be the man, you got to do what?
Beat the man.
Beat the man.
Come on.
Huh? Now, I'm one of the biggest JSU fans out there, but I ain't delusional. This ain't no good ass look. This is not a good ass look. How much time does Prime need? Okay, look, it's like this right here. They got Texas State scheduled next year. Ooh, Texas State, big whoop. And I think they have South Carolina State scheduled next year too. I was looking at that. So if you can schedule South Carolina State because you want revenge, damn it, you can schedule them too. Because in order to get notoriety, in order to be elite, you got to play the elite. I'm gone, man.
Hey, appreciate the call, G.
All right.
Hey, somebody said my shows are only hot when I'm dissing JSU. I think I need to keep going there. I think I need to keep going. I think somebody said that. Let me see. I know I saw it. They said your shows are only hot when you're dissing JSU. Let me see. Ty, he show. Whoa, man. Ajax, you need to clean up that grammar, my boy. Ty, thank you. TY, he show only popping when he dissing JSU. Listen, if you need me, if my show needs to be popping to diss, I will happily diss JSU for a popping show. That is right up my alley. What you mean? I can do that. I can do that every day. Okay, I can do that lottie-dottie everybody. I can do that any day. This JSU to get 400 people in the chat, say less. Say less, boy. That's easy money. That is easy money. All right, 4718. Then I'm coming to you, Mr. Campbell. Hey, caller, you loud. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Scott? My name's Lauren from Mississippi.
Oh, hey, listen. Mississippi's 0 for 2 tonight. Okay, they 0 for 2 tonight. Come through for them because they've been shooting and missing. So don't be on no foolishness. All right, but go ahead.
Look, I'm gonna be real. Everybody know what North Dakota State is. We ain't no damn fool here. It's just some damn Jackson State fans. Look, I'm telling you, I don't even think Ole Miss or Mississippi State would allow North Dakota State to come down and play. That's how bad them damn teams. That's how bad we think they are. Now, I don't know what the Deion and all of his followers, but I tell you one thing, JSU would not beat North Dakota State, especially with Trey Lance. They would score 50 on Jackson State with Trey Lance. They would score 50. That's how good he was. And people don't understand that is a program. They got 9 out of the last 10 championships. They're above 500 against Power 5 schools. What's the JSU record against?
Hey, listen, they out of conference record in FCS is just bad. You know what I'm saying?
It's bad, man. I tell you, it's bad. I don't know what the hell they got going on down there. Maybe it's that water. I don't know. Maybe it's that sewage that's been leaking in that water down there. With the potholes been rattling their brains, but anybody with any sense would know Jackson State don't stand a chance in hell of beating North Dakota State. They can. I'm gonna put this in perspective. Now let's just say if this is the last year of the Southern Heritage Classic, right? If JSU still win, it's cool. But guess who's gonna walk away with the winning record overall? Tennessee State.
Tennessee State.
We all know. Like let's just say this also. Delta State has played. They played Jackson State down to a wire last year. Now, with all that talk they did, they were saying they were going to blow Delta State out by 40 damn near. Look what happened. You let a team get in your red zone at the end of the game and damn near beat you. I don't think that's an all-world team to me. I'm just saying. And technically, Delta State got more national championships than Jackson State. They got more. They got 6 national championships.
So they're willing to play the top D2 school, but they ain't willing to play the top FCS school. Okay, I got it.
They can't even handle the top. They can't even handle the D2 school. Hell, Delta State is 4-1 over Valley.
That's
They're
bad.
4-1 over Valley at D2. And guess who's the only team in Mississippi though to beat to beat North Dakota State? Delta State in the last 20 years.
Wow.
That's the only team in Mississippi to beat North Dakota State in the past 20 years. And that was a playoff game. There wasn't no regular season game. So I would make the case as the top 3 teams in Mississippi. No, of course you got to have Mississippi State, Ole Miss, but you got to put Delta State in there. Why? National championship. Nobody recognizes the SWAC championship. Just be realistic. Who recognized it as a legitimate championship? No one, because it's like it's just a basically okay, you won, but who have you played to get that title? Nobody. You don't go out of the conference and beat anybody. And the closest I would say any team in the SWAC I've really seen that actually compete with somebody in the last few years would be Alcorn, because they played South Alabama really well, but I mean the rest of the teams we don't see much from them. They're not going toe to toe with these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I mean Alcorn is beating the Southland, but I mean you got to also look. McNeese is like 13-0 against the SWAC overall too.
Yeah, I think they undefeated. I think they haven't Southern is like 0-10 or something like that. But you know what I'm saying. But hey, man, I appreciate the call though, bro. That was some good insight.
All right,
appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it.
Dang, I ain't know Delta State had it like that. I did not know Delta State had it like that. That SWAC championship one hurt. I ain't even gonna lie. That stung. Hey, what's up, Mr. Campbell?
I'm calling to defend the education for the state of Mississippi, because it has been totally embarrassing for these fools to be calling in with this foolishness. What is this, man? Please, if you do not know what you're talking about, stop embarrassing the state. We know they 50th in education, but stop proving it when you call in on this show. I mean, my God. So I'm going to try to make the case for Jackson State. Since you Bamas cannot. This makes no sense. I don't watch small ball. Okay, man, let me get to my point. First of all, I want to say to my nephew, Blue, outstanding interview. Outstanding interview. And hell no, JSU State shouldn't play NDSU, because they would get their ass whooped. But here's the thing, and this is what my problem is. And the guy proved my point. I've always said we got to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. The AD said we are basically the biggest thing in the state. Matter of fact, we're the biggest thing in all 3 of these states that surround us. The damn governor went to North Carolina State. They got an $18 million budget that now went up to 24, I believe. They are supported by farmers. These farmers ain't no sharecroppers. These are millionaire farmers that are giving up money. So for Jackson State, because Jackson State is not a program right now, Scotty. Deion is building a program. There ain't no program. Let me tell you what a program is. You know, Jackson State, when they were a program, they had 16 NFL picks. 5 of them were over top 5 picks. You think Deion going to have 16 NFL picks in the next 4 years?
Negative.
I don't think so. So that lets you know how far he's behind just in Jackson State history. So he's got to even get to that bar before he starts stepping out there big like that. So for people to sit back and come and say, oh, Jackson State need to play NDSU. See, this is the classic white man thing. And I know this, Blue, this ain't about you, Blue. This is about the AD. He got a program. He sits up there, yeah, we're playing people and all that. Bro, you got the money. You got a whole state. And yeah, you go out and beat people because you're big time. Holler at me when you first was building that. But guess what? They was never been, because they always been in that position. See, it's easy for white people to say when they're dominant to come out there and say, yeah, we're even. We're not even. Stop making this shit even. And I want people from NCAT to shut the hell up, because y'all still ass didn't even get a home and home back. You played yourself. And NCAT wasn't taking them games until they started building their program, because they weren't taking them big time games when they were 0-12 and getting their ass whooped. So stop having this acting like y'all were like that. Y'all were not. Y'all were good for that little gap, that's 5 years. Now we're going to see what you're all about now. So I want all these people to stop this. No, Jackson State should not play NDSU when they don't even have a team yet. And one recruiting class, y'all, does not make a damn program. He ain't even. Scott, let me ask you a question. Has he recruited any offensive lineman?
No, that's not his. That's
not
not
worth anything.
But that's not his. You already know that's not how he gets down. He doesn't, because who said it in one of the media days? They said that you can't. I talked to a coach, in the SWAC or whatever. He said, I can't get the freshman anymore. I can't get the freshman and develop him because I don't have the time, because I got to win right now. So that's why you have to go out and get half your team out the transfer portal, because they're either tried and tested, or they have the body frame to compete with with the seniors and juniors. So I don't expect.
Okay, now look, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to make your point. It's a great point. So guess what? NDSU, they don't have to worry about that, because they can get the freshmen, they can get that fall boy, and they have a program, they have a system. Then when those kids come in, that system has been running for damn near 20 years now. That they can build those players and get those guys up and run very quickly. Just like the AD said, we have our players come back. And you know what they tell us? This is how we do it. Who Deion gonna have come back and say that? See, that means something. So see, that's what bothers me when we try to say Jackson State need to run their ass out there and play NDSU. Hell no. Now, what I did tell you, and I said this, Jackson State should play them in 2024. Because then Jackson State should be a program by then. He should have 3 recruiting classes deep. Should do as a senior. Go play him. But I still wouldn't play him in NDSU. I play him like they say in Chicago. Because, see, what that guy said, I listened to the interview twice. And Blue did, and I'm going to correct myself. Blue did ask him about the home because he said the 60,000 stadium. But the guy also mentioned about the games, how many games they want to have. So I bet you money, he probably made that same offer that he made Indy. We'll give you 300,000 for y'all to come up here. And Jack said, like, for what? See, this thing is about business. And we have to keep understanding this. Jackson State is different than a lot of entities. They get 40, 50,000. Half of y'all asses can't even get 5,000 people in your stadium. You ain't the same. Bethune-Cookman, sell out 10,000 people. You had to move a game for Jackson State so you get people to come to Jacksonville.
Blue said, make sure he brings up the fact that they raised $50 million just based off private donation by boosters and fans.
Oh no, I just said that. I just said they got those. They don't have sharecroppers. They got farmers. They got folks with money. See, that's the difference. See, let's talk about this. See, this is the difference. See, they have people that own businesses. Us black folks, people that work for people that have businesses. See, we might have money, but we ain't rich. Them white folks in North Dakota are wealthy. Who you think all that land up there, man? I listened to the dude. He was like they're some sharecrop farmers. Them dudes ain't no share. Those are multi-million-dollar businesses that those farmers have. God, they get $1 million just not to grow crops. And guess what? And then the thing about it, who do you think the governor is? NDSU alum. All the people in the legislature. You don't think all them boys like, yo, we want our team to be good?
So they feed.
Let's just make this in Mississippi. If Mississippi only had Jackson State and no other HBCU, and they got all the money from Valley and all the money from Alcorn, you don't think that would make a difference?
I don't think.
See, this is what I'm talking about. What makes me mad when I get upset about this. I want him to play, but I hate when he's being disingenuous, like they don't have a built-in back. They own the state. He says it. We have a whole state that behind us. What did he say, Scotty?
Hold on, talk about.
We got TV, we got radio, all that.
That goes with facilities, nutrition. I get all that. But you cannot consistently be having because North Dakota State has not consistently had #1 recruiting classes. And by 2024,
it's not about recruiting classes for them. That's what I'm saying. They have a program.
Hold on. But if Deion is constantly getting talent, and like you said, I do agree with you, 2023, 2024, you should have scheduled that game. But if you trust the talent that you're bringing in, because Deion is going to get talent, that's non-negotiable. He's just that type of guy. You can go and play that game. You can't make me believe you can't.
Okay, so now you're getting back to my historical point of view. So I'm going to agree with you. That's why I brought up the point about Jackson State having 16 NFL draft picks in 5 years. And over a fourth of them were over fourth round, first round, second rounders. Because JSU was playing people because they had the talent. People want JSU to play somebody. They ain't even got enough talent yet. They got one guy.
And who's the one guy?
Travis Hunter?
You don't even know
What's
that.
them guy?
You don't even know what he's going to look like. You guys.
So that's what I'm saying. So people are acting like JSU. Deion has only had one recruiting cycle. One. So people are saying he's getting all these 4 or 5 stars. He's had one recruiter cycle. NDSU has had 10. 10. They're not the same. They're not even, and I'm gonna say this again, and he knows it. Blue asked him a great question about them masquerading. They are masquerading as a goddamn FCS school. They should be playing FBS, and he knows it too.
I just have I'm sorry, like it's just okay. You know what? I think they should play North Dakota State. I don't. There's no if and buts, because if you can go play Texas State, if you can go play ULM, then I don't. If you can take a check from them to go play Texas State, they ULM paying you $375. What's the difference of an FCS school paying you $375? You taking the money from Texas State? What's the difference?
So now I'm going to agree with you. So that's why I wanted to know. See, I want to know what the deal is, because see, here's the thing. What I think happened, I think the guy said, y'all come up here and then we'll come down there. And I think Ross said, no, y'all come down here first.
No national champion.
Come down here
first.
Come
on, Mr. Campbell. No national champion is going to go to you first when I'm the freaking national champion. That's like Floyd Mayweather.
Well, guess what? But hold up. Whoa. Who do you think make more money with the turnstile, JSU or NDSU?
NDSU. You just said all the money. That
NDSU only got 19,000 people. No. I said coming in the stadium. NDSU only has 19,000. Jackson State will put 50 in there.
Once again, if I'm North Dakota State, I'm not coming to you first. There's no reason.
That's what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm not arguing. Listen, Scotty, me and you agreeing. But listen what I'm saying. This is why I try to tell people. I have sat out and listened to these people and this happens a lot of time when they're home and home. Who gets the first game is really a big linchpin thing. I see this happen all the time. So my thing is, I'm telling you, I bet you money that A.D. Robinson said, okay, you come to us first. And lose like you said, hell no, I'm not coming to y'all first. You bring your ass up here.
Come on, Mr. Campbell. Like, that's not real. What you're saying right now, that's a super cop out right now. You know, as a national champion, there's no way Deion has done nothing for me to go to you first. That's like the dude from Dallas, right? The boxer Spencer going to Floyd Mayweather talking about we'll play in Dallas when you know Mayweather plays in Vegas. Like, that's not even.
But we're talking. But no. See, I'm talking finances. You're talking about status. Status-wise, you're right. Finances, it doesn't make sense for them to do that. That's what I'm talking about. See, and this is where we kind of always keep getting this thing confused. I always keep telling y'all about Jackson State. They don't give a shit because they put so many people in the stands. And I told you the same thing about FAMU. Why does FAMU not play in Atlanta? Because FAMU go Florida. Because we don't make money taking our ass to Atlanta. And Jackson State really has that same mindset. When you're getting that many people. Bethune-Cookman can take their ass all over the damn place because they don't go to their games. They need the money.
Then if it's about go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Go ahead. No. You go ahead. No. I'm not disagreeing, but I have to we got to have a little bit of back. You need somebody to have a little balance to argue with you. You've been running over people all night.
I get it. But the thing about it for me is that it's like, okay, if Jackson State is like, okay, yeah, we'll put 50,000 in the stadium or whatever. Okay, that's cool. That's for y'all. That's why we have a home and home. So when you get your opportunity to go home, you can make all that money. But for a national champion, we went 14-1 to go to Jackson State first. That don't even now, if I'm a national champ, like, you can have two different kind of mindsets. You can be like, listen, man, I'm gonna come to your backyard and I'm gonna demolish you. Then you have to come up to North Dakota. All right. That's a possibility. If you have the mindset, you can have that mindset. But if I'm the national champion with 9 national champions in the past 10 years, there's no way that Jackson State is going to make me go there first. It ain't no possible way.
Well, let me ask you. Okay, I agree with you. But let me ask you a question. What do you think is going to look better on TV? 50,000 black folks going crazy, trying to beat them white boys, even though they're going to whoop Jackson State there by 50, or up in the Fargo Dome and ain't a blackface in that bitch.
I think the game, I think the game itself is a lot of people are talking about the pageantry, and I think that's where HBCU fans differ from other football fans, is because the game is what's going to make it exciting. I don't care about seeing white people in this. I don't give a shit. I want to see what happened. People who love
football. I'm just talking about the magnitude of people. So let's take the color out of it. if you put that many, take the color out of it, 50,000 people in Jackson looks totally different than 19,000 in Fargo Dome.
I don't
It
care.
does.
I don't care what it looks. I'm being so serious with you right now. I don't care if Fargo put 10,000 people in the stadium. It's about the game, the magnitude of the game that Jackson State, the #1 recruiting class, Deion Sanders, Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter is taking their talents up to Fargo, North Dakota to play that storyline itself. But I don't give a damn if there's 2 people in the stadium. It's going to have 1 million people watching.
Yeah, but ESPN cares. That's the thing about it. The money people care.
ESPN knows they're going to make their money on television. So if it's 10,000 people in the stands, they know they're going to make their money being on. If that game's on ESPN too, everybody and their mama going to watch because it's a great football game. And then if you have that same environment come back to Jackson, that 50,000 looks great, but it's a great football game. It's a rematch. However, the score went down last time. Deion comes back with a new, reinvigorated team, and it doesn't even. And the beauty thing about it, it doesn't have nothing to do with the SWAC conference. So it's literally it's a throwaway. It's no different than if you play in Texas State or ULM. It's a throwaway game. So it really has no effect on you overall.
Well, I'm gonna say, listen. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this again. If I'm Jackson State, I'm not taking that game right now because they're not ready, and they're going to get their ass whooped and get embarrassed. I'm not taking that game. So that's why I'm saying if I'm Jackson, I'm speaking if I'm the AD. Because, see, you have to be honest with yourself. See, the AD has to do the best interest of Jackson State, not for whoever else that don't pay no money. I'm not taking my team up there to get their ass beat and for you to have a show. See, just because watch what's going to happen when A&T go up there and get their ass blown out. Y'all are going to clown the shit out of them.
Just like we clown the shit out.
I don't wait, and ain't nobody gonna say, "Well, it was good that they went up there." When they get their ass beat by 50,
just like
that's what people are gonna say.
It's no different than me clowning the shit out of them for losing to South Carolina State. It ain't when you get your butt whooped. When you get your butt whooped, you get your no different than Bama still clowning Alabama A&M for the 60 points. That it's part of football. That's part of the game. If you can't take it,
but see, Scott, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to give you the business. Deion is about the visual. Deion know that's not good for his brand right now to get their ass laid out right now. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. That is not good for his brand right now. That South Carolina State loss was really bad for the brand. That was really bad. So that's all I'm pointing out, man. Like I said, I want to see the competition, and I told you they should play 2024. I don't give a damn where the game is at. The game should be in Chicago, though.
Listen. I don't care. The game should happen. I don't care where it's at. It could be in Jerry World. It could be in Chicago. Somebody said the Colts Stadium. I don't give a damn where it's at. It just needs to happen because if you put these two brands together, you're going to have a mega game. It just is what it is, and you're going to get the mega views. It is what it is. ESPN would spoon over this game because they know what North Dakota means, and they know when you add Deion Sanders to the mix, it just makes it that much more important.
Well, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to make one last point, and I'm going to jump off. But see, this is the thing about what ESPN does do. And see, what I'm curious about, why ESPN to say, hey, we want to have that game. We're going to put the money up. They do it all the time.
I think
all those classic games are ESPN games. ESPN puts up the money for those games. That Peach game in Atlanta, that's an ESPN game that they spent money on.
I would say this. If it was about that, then as an AD, because listen, the AD is clearly saying they're interested. If Ashley Robinson say, hey, let's take this to ESPN and see what they can pay us to come up there or do something. Let's say if we both get $1 million each to play this game, then
they got to go.
You got to go.
They got to go.
You see what I'm saying?
No. See now you're talking about what I'm talking about. Now you got to go. But I'm not taking my ass up there for $300,000 to get my ass whooped. I wouldn't do it. Not now.
Somebody just
when you're not ready yet.
Somebody just said, man, please, JSU Southern would outdraw. See, You're thinking, see, people, you're thinking about the stadium. We're thinking about viewership. You're not, that's the lack of knowledge that you Bamas have, okay? Yes, it might be 60,000 in the Vet Stadium. Congratulations. But on the TV screen, it won't be nowhere near compared to North Dakota State
100%.
Jackson State on viewership. Come on, man, stop playing.
Because see that, and that's my problem with this. Is what I'm saying, my problem, because JSU will still get 45,000 for NDSU, and then to your point, we get mega ratings on the TV, and that's where the part needs to be talked about. I agree with that 100%. See, this is what we gotta kind of get out of that mindset. Yeah, Southern, we get y'all Southern and Jackson State. I understand y'all do the boom mock and all that, but Jackson State, when I'm trying to get Jackson State, and I want to see FAMU and all these schools to get back to where I'm saying, well, we got 16 NFL draft picks.
Facts.
That's a lot of picks, Scotty. That's a lot. NDSU ain't had no 16 picks in 5 years, ever. Hell, I just looked, they only had 6. So I'm trying to get, that's when you have talent. That's when you go play people. When you got first rounders, second rounders, fourth rounders, fifth rounders, eighth rounders. So that's what I want to see from this. So like I said, I just wanted to call in because, like I said, it was a lot of people embarrassing the state of Mississippi, and that was just bothering me too much, man.
Yeah, no, you ain't lying about that. They were definitely embarrassing them. But hey,
Bruh,
Mr. Gamble, as always, I appreciate the call as always.
All right, man. Good show, bro.
Appreciate it. This is why you guys don't get media deals. This is why. This is the dumb shit that Bamas be saying. That's why you Bamas don't get media deals. That's why you don't get your value, because you got people like Jeremy Books. Fuck viewership, the revenue. If you don't have the views, you don't have the analytics to back up what you're going to go offer somebody. What are you talking? If Jackson State takes and goes to North Dakota State and they play that game, right? And they have over 3 million people watching it. Then you can go to ESPN, you can go to Amazon and say, look, we bring views. This is North Dakota State's highest watched game ever. We did that. Not North Dakota State. Jackson State did that. That's why y'all dumbasses don't get no media deals, because you don't understand how media works. If you don't have the analytics to back what you're saying up, then why would you can't go out and offer whatever? There is no monetary amount put to black viewership, to the black dollar in HBCU. So you have to go outside your network to show Bama's like, look, North Dakota State usually gets about what? 1.5 million, 500,000. They play Jackson State. They get 3 million views. Well, who else do you thought bring the 1.5 million? We do. That means there's viewership in the black. That's why y'all Bamas don't know nothing. It's so sickening to see the ignorance in the chat. And this dude is a great. Listen, all people with degrees are not smart. Listen to me very closely. Just because you have a degree in something does not make you intelligent, okay? That was a dumbass statement. 23AA coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Whoa, double T, double O, you on fire, boy.
What's up, double T, double O? Talk to me.
What's up, baby? You on fire tonight, boy. You hurting people's feelings tonight. I see that. So, in all honesty, JSU shouldn't play North Dakota just off of football, because he's still shuffling around with the coaches. He just got a new coach. And you do want your players in the system for 2 or 3 years. You redshirt a freshman. He might start his sophomore, his junior year. After he's been in the strip program, you can put size on your whole roster been in the system for 3 years.
Yeah.
On the other half, y'all want some BS with this not going up to Dakota and playing these boys in North Carolina A&T going up there. Y'all want some BS. And like you, I know you flipping out on this viewership. They swag delusionals they don't understand. That's why CAA, that's why they get so much money. See, the CAA, the top grossing FCS conference, you can just see the money.
when you watch the CAA. They got their own network, all the commercial spots they sell. Then they sell a couple spots to ESPN, a couple games to ESPN every year. They killing it. And with the SWAC, y'all keep on talking this attendance at the stadium. That doesn't matter. These conferences got viewership. They selling commercials. Non-stop. They got sponsors in the. Y'all got 30,000, 40,000 in the stadium. They got 60,000 people between the stadium and watching the games. These people, these companies pay them nonstop for spots and commercials, and they own all their content, which you was fussing about earlier. They own all their content, so they get all their money. That's why these conferences got more money than the SWAC. They play all home and home games, and they pocketing all their money off of their network. But you don't hurt these people's feelings no more, or whatever. They named all these outlandish reasons why JSU shouldn't play them. JSU shouldn't play them just because Deion's still getting his coaching staff together, and because these players, they ain't been in the strength program, his system for 2-3 years. That's the only reason. After that, by 2025, y'all should be playing everybody. Yeah, it's no excuse. Y'all should be playing everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm out, Double.
Hey,
appreciate the show, dog, and you getting on them the right way.
Nah, I appreciate it. Hey, man, shout out to Double T Double O. He be in the chat going ham, but he calls in every now and again. I appreciate that. Jerome, I'm coming to you. Explain yourself. You live.
Couple questions for you, man.
Hold on.
So,
tell people what state you from first. Tell people what state you from.
Yeah, I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Mississippi. I was about to say, oh, got another one. Go ahead.
Nah, can you see, like Queen City all day. So, but I'm representing Jackson State, of course. Well, let me ask you a couple questions. When it comes to viewership and when it comes to media contracts, do you even know which FCS schools have the highest viewership according to ESPN?
From what I know, I'm gonna just tell you from what I know. I can't tell you exactly. I got the facts that the SWAC had the most watched game, if I'm not mistaken, in FCS. If I'm not mistaken, I listen. I'm trying to be as equal as possible because I don't want to say something but I do believe that the FAMU and either the SWAC, either the Celebration Bowl or the JSU versus OBC was actually the most watched FCS game of the year, if I'm not mistaken. But go ahead.
And I agree. And if you go back to last spring, we played Grambling, and I believe it was the Southern game and Alabama A&M game. Those were high numbers as well.
Oh, but there was nobody else on TV. There's nobody else on TV.
Yeah, I'm sorry, there
was nobody else on TV, so I don't really count that, but go ahead.
Okay, well, we can talk about the fall as well. Quite a few of Jackson State's games last fall were the highest among FCS. And that's been a trend over the last several years, even pre-COVID, when it came to MEAC games and SWAC games. So my question is, if the MEAC and the SWAC are having the most watched games when it comes to the ESPN platform, and I know without a doubt that the MEAC's previous commissioner and our current commissioner in the SWAC have brought this to ESPN's face, like they put it on the table, and they're still not willing to budge. Similar to a lot of these bogus classics that you pointed out when it comes to the contracts being trash. What can we do if we're at the table and we're trying to renegotiate and we're giving them proof and we're giving them evidence that our games are the highest watched games in FCS and they're still not budging? What can we do?
I think this is the thing that I think that a lot of people fail to realize when it comes to negotiation in some aspects. I don't believe that I'm going to say this with 90% certainty that I don't believe that the commissioner did his due diligence by taking it to Amazon, Apple, Peacock, NBC, CB. I do not believe that he did his due diligence in taking the product to those different entities to see what they will offer him for the product. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm being really honest, if anybody knows what's going on in the media realm of that, Byron Allen has been suing white. He's been suing advertising agencies for the lack of diversity in them investing in Black-owned media companies, and the media and the agencies have been giving money to Black media companies because they're like, yo, we don't want to seem racist or anything like that. I hate to say this, but I think you have to play the race card in certain aspects when it comes to this, because I feel as though what's the difference, and people are going to get mad at me when I say, what's really the difference other than the school name on the PWIs? What's really the difference? Because if you take Michigan off the jersey and you have blue and white, it's no different than Jackson State. It's really no different. It's just that it's a white PWI. That's literally the only difference, because they got all Black players. We got all Black players. So I just think that.
And Scotty, didn't he sue Comcast and win?
He did. He did sue Comcast and win. So it's a race card being played that is winning at a high volume. So I hate to say that, but I think you have to play a little bit of the race card. But I really don't believe that McClellan has really gone out and really done a deep dive and saying, because you can't tell me that there's not interest when CBS just did a licensing agreement with Byron on the same content you had. So you telling me you couldn't have done a licensing agreement with CBS directly? That doesn't make sense.
So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Because you brought up a couple of different platforms that I think a lot of folks in the chat and probably the Slack office are not privy to. Can you tell us, when it comes to a major platform like ESPN compared to a streaming service like Amazon, when it comes, like, is there a disparity when it comes to exposure, or is it about the same? Like, do you think more folks are willing to subscribe to a streaming platform as opposed to, something sexy like ESPN?
If I'm being honest, this is a great question, JB. Shout out to you for real. This is a really great question. The people are the platform. Let me say that again. I want to make it very clear, right? The people are the platform. ESPN Plus grabbed all the Black content, not because they thought your football was good. They knew it came with people. And we need people to buy subscriptions to watch the stuff. So really what they did was took the free content, right, that you probably could have had on YouTube or your own channel. They took it, made you pay to watch it, and you're building up the ESPN Plus subscriber base, right? So it's no different. If McCullough would have took it to Amazon, if he would have took it to Peacock, the Black people was going to follow where the content was. Why? Because they want to watch their games. So honestly, if you're talking about exposure only comes when you start playing like bigger brands and bigger TVs. But if you really want to just talk about making money in your house, in your own house, you already had it because you already come with your own fan base. So wherever Charles, you don't think the little local stations at Atlanta are not happy that they're going to have, Black people tuning into the games. CW, I don't even know what the CWN 69 is. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to have people looking to tune in because they'll be able to watch a Black college football game. That is the power of people. So it wouldn't have mattered if you would have took it to Peacock. It wouldn't have mattered if you would have took it to Hulu. It wouldn't have mattered if you took it to YouTube TV. It wouldn't have mattered because they would have brought the viewership with them, and everybody is used to streaming. I bet you got Netflix and Hulu at the crib. I got Netflix and Hulu at the crib. You know what I'm saying? People are just used to streaming. I don't think many people own DirecTV or cable television anymore. You get it through a streaming service. You know what I'm saying? You get it through YouTube TV. I got Hulu Live. I got Sling TV. I got all these places that allow you to watch TV over the internet because I got smart TVs. It's just too easy now. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. I'm sorry, JB. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I mean, those are all great points. And I think it kind of goes to show, when the commissioner brought in Alabama A&M's athletic director for a senior leadership role in the conference, and A&M alumni have been trying to get rid of their AD for like the last 10 years. It just kind of goes to show that there's a disconnect when it comes to identifying talent, when it comes to identifying, I guess, a level of competence, or just, identifying a level of folks who got their ears to the ground. as far as what's going on in streaming. So, you're absolutely right. But I did kind of want to pivot back to, the topic at hand about North Dakota State. I'm going to be real, man. Like, I follow FCS football the last 15, 20 years. And, North Dakota State, man, just to be honest, everybody knows they are an FBS team pretending to be FCS. With the amount of revenue they generate, the type of budget and facilities they have, and all these top-tier talent. What do you say, A&M, old AD? Oh, yeah, you're right. Absolutely. When it comes to the top-tier talent that they're able to get from Florida and California, like a lot of people think, oh, they're homegrown boys. Nah, man. They have a tradition of taking a lot of talent from those Pac-12 schools and raiding the state of Florida as well. They've been a legit FBS program. And I know for a fact there's plenty of FBS schools that will not schedule North Dakota State. Now, shout out to A&T, for scheduling them when A&T was at its height. I definitely think, they're going to get blown out, when they go to Fargo. I hate to say that, but I mean, it is what it is. Tennessee State, the same thing. It's just, when it comes to North Dakota State, man, the level of resources, the amount of backup players they have, the depth chart, that's on the roster, it's not the same, man. Listen, Jackson is definitely making some huge moves, man. Kudos to them. Deion Love, when you're looking at a program that's clearly an FBS program, it's not to me, it shouldn't be a topic of conversation. I feel like we should be having a topic of conversation about A&T and North Dakota State since they actually scheduled them, or Tennessee State and North Dakota State. Jackson State, clearly, we're new coaching staff, got some new analysts coming in, got some new players. We're still trying to beef up. As far as developing players,
I'm sorry. I started to cut you off, but I'll say this. I think that Tennessee State, that 2024 season, I think that's going to be a legit game. The way Eddie George is recruiting, the way Eddie, and the reason is because the way Eddie George and Deion Sanders, to me, are doing this. They're doing the same type of recruiting. Literally, they're doing this. They're doing the same type of recruiting. And I would even say, if we were to talk about like depth wise, I think that you'll see a little bit more depth in Tennessee State, just a little bit. But they're literally doing the same thing. The only thing that takes Jackson State over the top is because of Travis Hunter. But if we're talking about bar for bar, player for player, Tennessee State, that game to me is probably going to be the game of the year. Like if I'm being a whole buck about it, like the last Southern Heritage Classic, that game is going to be epic because of just how they're both recruiting. And if you give Eddie George 2 or 3 more years and he's playing these tough teams now, he's playing Eastern Washington now, he's playing Jackson State, he's playing these he's playing who else he got on the schedule this year? I think he has like another top team, Blue said, that they got to play. And you're playing these teams now. To me, it just builds your team up for the resolve. So next year, those freshmen or sophomores that played or those juniors, they know what competition looks like. It's not going to be new to them. But go ahead.
Well, I gotta push back on that because, talking to a lot of FCS coaches, even on the HBCU circuit, they've all stated emphatically that playing FBS programs does not develop or help their team when it comes to strength. You know what I'm saying? Just as far as their, it actually doesn't help when it comes to strength of schedule as well. But it doesn't help them prepare for a full-out FCS slate because you're talking about a team that has over 85 scholarships compared to your program that has, I forgot the max allotment compared to FBS. It really doesn't help you. You know what I'm saying? The only way it really helps you is if you're playing like a lower level FBS team, like what A&T was doing. That was their bread and butter. They're playing like little no-name schools like East Carolina or UNC Charlotte or Kent State. You can compete with them. But when it comes to a Power 5 school, that's not going to help South Carolina State. That's not going to help FAMU. That's not going to help any of our schools. It's not an HBCU thing. Listen, those Power 5 schools are blowing out these other PWI FCS schools as well. So it's not an HBCU versus PWI thing. It's just a matter of the allotment of scholarships and the level of talent as far as depth.
I don't like how. Okay, so if the games aren't good, then why are players getting drafted off those games?
Look, with South Carolina State, I feel like that was an anomaly, and I say that because there was no other. I say that because there was no other FCS player that was drafted based off of their performance versus the FBS opponent.
That's a lie.
He had a good game.
That's a lie. That's Darius Leonard. Darius Leonard was drafted off the Clemson game when he played against Clemson. And then you had the Kobe Durant getting drafted off that game as well. And Vernon Hargraves also had, and he also had FBS tape. So playing FBS teams is.
So when you saw the NFL draft, the brother from South Carolina State, man, there was no other player that was picked where the analysts specifically talked about that one performance against that FBS opponent. Everybody else, it was like a more holistic totality of their whole body of work throughout the entire season or throughout their career at school. That's why I said he's an anomaly. But again, when you talk about level of competition, level of preparedness, FCS schools playing FBS schools, because here's the thing, if it prepared South Carolina State to play Clemson or University of South Carolina, they wouldn't have got destroyed by FAMU. They wouldn't have lost to A&T. They wouldn't have lost to Alabama A&M. They lost to 3 HBCUs. So again, man, I mean, kudos to them. If that's how you pay your bills. I know South Carolina State got some financial issues. I'm not trying to be funny, but if that's how you got to keep the Dorsey athletic department funded, cool. But I feel like there's just other ways that we can go about it by actually supporting the games and showing up and buying tickets. That's actually going to give you more money than the payouts you can get from FBS school.
I doubt it. But hey, man, appreciate the call though, as always, JB.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Let me see. I'm gonna go 3168. Then I'm coming to you, David. All right, 3168 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Scotty, this your boy TJ back, man.
What's good? What's good, man?
Man, we calling from Jackson, Mississippi, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. Listen, we ain't delusional and we far from stupid. Listen, Deion know not to schedule that right now. He know not to schedule that right now because he know if he do, they finna get their ass embarrassed. So be smart. Don't do that. Wait about, like you said, 20, 24, 25 when you had you a couple years. You had your coach staff and shit like this. Because I said, bro, you go right now, we going to kick y'all ass. What?
That's it?
But that's it.
That's it? All right, appreciate the call, DJ. Listen, listen, man, there's D3 people that get drafted. What are you talking about, man? You look like that dude off the TikTok videos that be sweating. That's what you like. What are you talking about, bro? He said that doesn't help. I'm telling you it does because players get drafted off tape like that. Listen, Sean McVay, the coach that he's coaching for, said, hey, he showed up on the screen at Clemson. That's when he came on our radar. So no, it's not the rule, but it can be an exception. Okay, but it happens. It happens. So let's not act like it doesn't, especially when the head coach freaking came out of his mouth and said, yo, the Clemson game put him on our radar. Dang, dumbass. All right, 8945 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's going on, Scotty, man? I'm out here smoking my cigar, and I'm just listening to everybody talking, chit-chat. I feel like, okay, with Tennessee State scheduling their game for 24 and 25, I feel like Eddie George thinks that his team is ready. But Deion don't think the team is ready to go play them. I don't even think we're ready to go play them. And I say it like this: it's always going to be like our skill positions are going to be good. We'll match up with them with skill position, but when it comes to the trenches, we're not going to be able to match up with them.
Yeah,
especially with the offensive line going like maybe average on like maybe say what 305, 310.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go against. We can't go up against that. And I'm a JSU fan through and through, but we're not ready for NDSU right now. And like you said, I would rather get another 2 recruiting classes in, and like say when Shadura becomes a senior, then you schedule him, to play that game. And that's how I see it. Like
And for NDSU reminds me of Boise State back in the day.
Yeah.
When Boise State was FCS, they kicked everybody ass in FCS. They beat a lot of players. They did a lot of teams in FBS, and they was masquerading as a FBS program in FCS. So what did they do? They went up FBS and still was kicking everybody ass because of the simple fact that they knew what they had to do, and especially when they got an additional 20-some scholarships. They could build the team. They could have an actual 2 deep or 3 deep roster on pretty much in every position. So I don't think. I mean, do it sound good for us to go play there right now? As far as like viewership, yeah, viewership. Because I'm gonna go. Be honest with you, I'm gonna watch it. Shit, I'm gonna watch it when they play North Carolina A&T. What's that? The second game of the season for them?
Yeah, I think so.
Or was that the first game?
I think it's the first game.
Okay, so I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, if it's the first game, I'm gonna watch them. Will NCAT win? Nope, they won't win. But I'm gonna watch them because I'm gonna support it. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be a big supporter. Will I watch it when they play Tennessee State 24? Yeah. I mean, it's just all about like for us, Jackson State. We're not ready as far as our roster goes to actually play them right now.
Okay.
We're not ready. And I mean I'm just be real with it. We're not ready. And I feel like if like you said, if we get like 2 more recruiting classes in, then yeah, maybe we'll go up there. And people talk about, well, they need to come down here. Come down here. I mean, they could come down here. We could pack out the vet. But are we going to be there watching the game to see if we could beat them? Yeah and nay. But
I mean, you don't schedule a team. You don't schedule a team to see if you can't beat them. So that doesn't make sense.
I mean, well, yeah. But some people don't think like that. Like some people think like, okay, well, I'm just going up there and get a check. If we beat them, we beat them. If we don't, oh well, I got me a check. I'll come back home. But I don't like I said, everybody's like, well, we should be able to go play. We'll play it right there. We'll blow them out. No, we won't.
All right.
And that's my take on it though.
Hey, appreciate the call though, D. Let me see something. Somebody said something foolish, and I want to go back to it. Somebody said Shedeur doesn't plan to stay 4 years. Wait, is he transferring? Is he graduating early? I just want to know because where is he going? Where is he? Where is he going? Where? I mean, is he? And something? Is he transferring to another school? Where's he going? Because if you talking about the draft, he draft early. Shedeur. All right. Okay. I don't know where he's going. I just, I don't know. But if you think whatever, hey, teach his own. 1112 coming to you. 1112. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Got it.
What's good?
Got it. What's going on?
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, you already know this your boy Tony. You already know I'm calling from Stephen.
All right, now listen, y'all. I think y'all like 2 for 2.
Yeah,
Mr. Campbell came back for y'all, and then TJ came back for y'all. Y'all 2 and 2. Don't have a losing record tonight on this phone line. Go ahead.
Nah, but yeah, I was just agreeing with what you were saying earlier though. Like, okay, you got to look at it. Most of all our transfers come from the SEC. Aubrey Miller, Johnny Houston from last year. No, these SEC caliber players, they transfer from Powerhouse Conference. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I feel, hey, this is just me. Anything can go down any given Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, for everybody saying, hey, we ain't ready for North Dakota State, this, that, and the third. Shit, how come we not? These players came from, FBS Conference. How come we not? That's how I look at it. Anything can go down any given Sunday. So, hey, if we line up on the field in a given Sunday, hey, you never know. And I think we always have a chance.
Hey, I love the optimism. I mean, I think that listen, man. I think that's how you. I mean, listen. If we're being honest, the only thing that, if we're being real, the only thing that's the weakest link on Jackson State right now is their O line. Like, I don't trust. I don't think their D line is what it was last year, but their O line is probably the weakest link. But everything else they fortified. They fortified their back end. You got Aubrey Miller coming back. You got a new linebacker. You got Gregory Great, who was an All-American in his conference. So you're getting the players to be impactful, but you don't want to go play anybody impactful. It doesn't make sense.
Now, Gary, we got, he comes from Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So we got the players. They come from the SEC. But yeah, man, when are we going to be ready? Shador senior, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's gonna come a time, man. We gotta go and strap it down, man, and see what's up.
Yeah, so. Hey, spot the ball. That's what they say. Hey, appreciate the call though. Hey, man, I like this. I think this will be a dope matchup as well, Kennesaw State. I think that would be a great matchup as well. And listen, if you ducking that, I don't listen, man. I'm just gonna close my eyes to Jackson State. I'm just gonna close my eyes. If you ducking Kennesaw State, I'm just closing my eyes at this point. I ain't even gonna waste my time. 4905 coming to you. 4905. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hello.
Yeah, you live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Yogi, Scotty.
Hey, what's up, Yogi?
Hey, what's up, man?
Talk to me.
I just wanted to call in, man, and say, I think JSU should play them. And I wanted to compare from my high school experience because my senior year, we was a 2A division high school team, only had like 23 players. And my coach had set us up to play a team in Roanoke Rapids. A 5A school, never lost a home game in 8 years. Coach told us, he was like, hey, this is what we're preparing for. We got to go and get it. And we weren't ready as far as trench play. Like, I think our average height on the offensive line was 6 foot. We had short offensive linemen. We didn't have the best skill position players, and all we did was run the ball. We went up there, though, played them, and beat them by 3, 20 to 23.
Wow.
It's possible. It's possible. You got to see where your team is at.
I like
you
that.
You got to see where your team is at.
I like that. That's dope. That's a damn good story right there. I like that too.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie though. They beat us physically. I mean, they beat the hell out of us physically, but we won the game. We won the game.
Hey, that's all that matters at the end of that, Jay. Y'all got the dub.
Yes,
you feel me?
Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm a big fan of you, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, and me and my girl appreciate everything you do in the chat, Yogi. For real, man. We love you, man.
No problem, man.
I
get
appreciate
the likes up.
All right, get the likes up, like my boy Yogi said. Appreciate it. That's his first time calling in, man. That's what's up. All right, that is what's up, man. Listen, man. I'll take a North Carolina. Listen, man. Tennessee State is just Tennessee State scheduling everybody. They want the smoke with everybody. Why don't Jackson State want the same smoke? They don't want to play anybody. Oh my gosh, man. This is so irritating, bro. It is sickening, man. It is absolutely sickening to watch this stuff, man. 4620 coming to you.
Hey, well, Scotty.
What's good?
Wake.
What's up, Wake?
That was, a lot of people already beat me to that comment because I'm thinking when you go in saying, "Oh, we're not ready," how do you know until you strap it up?
Come on.
You never know. You never know what. When I look at North Dakota State and I look at Jackson State, I just went and looked at the roster. The on the O line that North Dakota State has, the heaviest dude is 310. I'm thinking, okay, when you got a line like that, that's average. That's not so. I don't see a big differential as far as physical size with JSU and North Dakota State. Why are they saying that? What are we not ready for? Is it the coaching? Is it exposure? Is it what is it? Why are people saying that? Because the fact that you're saying that, that's some punk shit. Point blank. We just say strap it up and go see what happens. You never know what your players are doing until you put them in there. So I don't know why they're saying it. Help me out. Why are they saying it? I
think it's the coaching. I think it's the coaching in the offensive line. He does not want his son to run for his life. I don't care what anybody wants to say. He does not want Shador Jesus Christ Jr. Sanders to run for his life. You got to turn the background down.
I don't care what. Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah. You got to turn your background down. But yeah, he don't want his son to get hit. Because if you know your offensive line is the weakest point, you don't want your son back there running for your life.
If he gets hit, he gonna raise up in 3 days, right? He gonna get back up. just go and get hit in the mouth and see what happens and see what you recover, because it just avoiding that just makes you look bad. I'm like, okay, just put him out there, see where the stuff lands at, and whatever hits. That I'm just looking at like that don't make any sense. Now, if you tell me you're gonna play Georgia or somebody like that, I get it. But North Dakota State, okay, yeah, whatever. Just go ahead. You're all probably about the same size and just hit the ground running. So what you just said is what I believe is.
I look at it like this. I look at it like this. If I'm being honest, for every 10 plays, I think they'll get to Shedeur. I think they will sack Shedeur 2 times. I think he'll probably be hurried or pressured 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Out of every 10 plays, I think 2 of them will be sacks and 4 of them will be pressures. But I mean, that's the life of a quarterback. If you expect your quarterback to just sit there and not be touched all day long, then he's in the wrong business. He's in the wrong business. I'm not saying that you want your guy to get hurt, and I'm not saying that at all. But you got to understand, he got to understand that he gonna get hit. That's part of the game. And then if I'm Deion, I'm talking to my son. I'm like, son, this is how you go make your NFL money. This is how you go stamp yourself as one of the best quarterbacks in all of FCS, not just the SWAC. In the FCS, we gonna go up to Fargo. You gonna show up because what did you say? You know, don't let my security infect your insecurity, some crap like that. Don't let my confidence, all that. Right. I'm a Sanders. He loves to say that. I'm a Sanders. Well, Sanders, get your ass up and go play somebody.
Now I'm hearing all this stuff. Do they not have a running game? Is that non-existent?
They supposed to. They got Sevion Wilkinson. They got my boy Tyson Alexander. Shout out to him. They got JD Martin. They got running backs now. If they're gonna run the ball, let Blue tell it. They got the best center on the team and all this, that, and the third. Got a new revamp O-line. What are you scared for? None of your O-line are starting freshmen. None of them are freshmen. They're either.
So if you got Jesus coach and Jesus Junior quarterback, why would you say you're not ready? You should be you should be winning everybody. You should be blowing them out. I don't get it.
I don't think they're going to blow anybody out, honestly. But I still think that's a competitive. If you scheme it up right? Because think about it. You still got Malachi Wideman. You still got Travis Hunter at receiver. You got 2 guys that were in like top 20. You got 2 5-stars. And Travis Hunter's a receiver. Kevin Coleman's a receiver. You telling me there's nobody that you feel that they can compete with North Dakota State in their defense? Like, you got to have a scheme. I listen, man, I think they don't trust the coaching. They definitely don't trust Brett Bartolone because they don't know what it's going to look like. But it just don't make sense to me, man. I just think that you got too much talent on that team to not even try for 2023 or 2024. Shane Hook's on that team. You know, Malachi Wideman, Travis Hunter, freaking Quay Davis. You got ballers. You can get, man, it's not an excuse, man. It's just
now. Before I bounce, let you know, I take that bet with Blue that I still thinking Jackson State gonna lose that 5 this season. So just let you know that.
Hey man,
I'm gonna be like James. I'm gonna be like James Chappelle. Fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth.
Right.
Boy,
all right, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, where's the like Mama Body said? Where's the faith? Where's the faith? All right. Where is the faith? 9868 coming to you. Hey, caller, you lot, talk to me.
Hey, what's going on?
What's goody? What's your name? Where you call from?
Hey, I'm Calvin. I got to keep this one. I'm from Mississippi. I mean, I've been hearing some Mississippi slander going on around here, and it's probably deserved. I ain't delusional. I would wish we could play North Dakota State. I don't think we're ready right now, though. That's today's date. And hopefully, in the future, it does come to fruition.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask, what do you feel you need to, because think of, let me ask the question. I'm going to let you, what do you feel you need to be ready for North Dakota State?
I mean, personally, you probably right now, it might be some more conditioning, development of some players along the trenches, offensive line in particular. And you have a brand, like you said, you have a brand new coordinator who's, I think he's coordinating like Division III or somewhere. So, that's a lot of unknowns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want to see it happen.
Okay,
so I think that's what we need.
So you
better
said
development of the offensive line.
So you said offensive line. So let me ask you.
And bottom on more seasons. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. If the offensive line is not to what do you want the offensive line to look like? Give me an example of a HBCU team or a team. It's not going to look like North Dakota State, so don't say that team. But just give me an offensive line in college in FCS football that you like, hey, if we look somewhat like this, we could play against North Dakota State.
Southern offensive line last year.
Okay. They sucked. I mean, they were good, but the team sucked. But I get what you're saying. That they were actually a pretty good unit. Okay, all right, that's not bad. So if you look like that, right? So if you look like that with weapons that you have, you feel you're capable of doing that. Now let me be very clear. A lot of those players on Southern were developed. Jatari Carter was a walk-on at Southern. Dallas Black is like a 2 or 3 star. Like I need people to understand when you're saying what you're looking for compared to what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Because Deion is revamping his line every year through the portal. That's not what Southern did. Southern built their line from the inside. Development, time, effort. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just confused. I'm just confused about how you think Deion's going to get to a Southern line when if he sees there's a problem, all he does is get rid of the player and get a new player in.
And that's a question that I don't know the answer to, but I'm agreeing with you. Like, that's the problem. It's not development. We had like a couple of 3-stars signed this first year, and both of them transferred. Freshmen, offensive linemen.
Okay.
They went to
Dylan
Spencer transfer,
and they went to FBS players too.
They went to JUCO. Those 2 freshmen, 3-star, they went to JUCO.
One of them went to like Western Michigan. One of the old linemen that Deion got rid of during the spring, after the spring season, they went to Western Michigan.
Oh, no. Oh, you're talking about Cedric Dunbar. He went to Bowling Green, I think.
Yeah, something like something like that. Yeah.
I mean, Bowling Green, one of them went to Jacksonville State, who's going to be Division I next year, and one of them went to McNeese State. See, that's why my issue is right now. I'm trying to figure out. I personally believe this offensive line coach ain't up to snuff.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
I'm just saying, like, if you give me Southern's offensive line to Jack State last year, we go 13-0, and you give me TC Tanner's offensive coordinator.
I agree.
We go 13-0.
People, listen. Listen, if I was TC Taylor, I would feel so disrespected right now that you had TC Taylor is the only offensive coordinator. I won't say only. That's not right. Let me. He, as an offensive coordinator, he is taking a team to the championship as an offensive coordinator. So to say he does not know what he's doing is crazy. And for him to, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
I think that Deion might be handcuffing him a little bit about. I mean, you get replaced in the middle of the season, so it's only so much. Not really changing schemes around. You just maybe change the tendencies and what you see as your experience and what you call a play. You can't change a whole scheme around in the middle of the season. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's just almost impossible.
Absolutely.
I did think Deion was handcuffing him a little bit. I mean, people don't realize that he didn't call the plays outside the Celebration Bowl. I don't know why they trips. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they reverted back to the old coordinators, but TC wasn't calling the plays for us.
Oh, I know that for a fact. Yeah, TC was not calling the plays. It was
I don't know
Pollock.
why.
It was Michael Pollock.
And you saw how disastrous that was. I mean, I got a question. You don't know the answer probably, but you saw that Deion got Mike Zimmer on the staff as an analyst, right?
Yeah. You
can't tell me that he has a relationship with someone as high profile as that he's having these no-name offensive coordinators. This is what I call a science experiment. You get somebody that hasn't done that before, and you experiment. You know what I mean? And At Jackson State, we don't need to be experimental. That's the problem we had when we were sucking. We kept getting these experimental coaches, so he never coached before. He hasn't, he wasn't a head coach before. He wasn't a coordinator before. Let's get him a head coach job. Then he suck.
Listen, man.
And you had the same stuff when they were trash. They get these experimental head coaches that they never been a head coach or coordinator before. Then you wonder why the results garbage.
I'm gonna tell you this, and this is facts. You ain't gotta look no further or nothing like this. The reason Brett Bartolone is the coordinator at Jackson State is because he's from the Mike Leach tree. He brings air raid. Air raid is a QB friendly system that puts up a high amount of yards. Well, why do you want a high amount of yards, you ask? Because if Shedeur is throwing for 350 to 400 yards per game, he wants to get looked at for the NFL draft. Listen, all the stuff that Deion is doing for Jackson State is great. The main thing is two things. He wants to win and get Shedeur in the league. That's it. So if I'm Sylvia,
I disagree.
You're bugging.
No, listen. I'm messing with you. There's three things. He wants to win and get Shedeur drafted. A third thing, he wants to look good while doing all three of those things.
That's
right?
winning. Listen, Deion and winning are synonymous. They're like best friends, right?
Yeah.
That's why he was such a dominant player in the NFL, because wherever team he went to, they changed. You know what I'm saying? Like he took them over the top. He was that guy. So that's what Deion wants to do at the end of the day. He wants his son to be that guy. So to me, what does not make sense is if I'm a running back, if I'm a top level running back, why would I choose to go to Jackson State? Because you're not going to touch the ball 20 times. You're not.
Hey, I agree. This is something I would say, me personally, I don't think the air raid fits Shedeur. I think he's more of a traditional pro style. I think, like with Tennessee State or Hugh Jackson, I think, kind of more West Coast fielders. I think that's what Shedeur is to me. I don't know. Maybe this is my opinion. I don't think he's an air raid style quarterback.
If I'm being honest, I would run. Oh man, let me see. I'm trying to think of a style that I like that I've seen before. I would probably go with. I kind of go. I wouldn't say, I just say spread. I think he's a good spread quarterback. Like I don't, because he's really great in the pocket. He has really great pocket presence. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's an air raid. I don't think Shedeur is a good 40 to 50, attempts a game. I don't think that's him. I think if you keep Shedeur 30 and below, 35 and below his max, I think you see a really, really good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Shedeur going 27 of 35 or 25 of 35. Like, I think that's a very efficient guy. That's what you're seeing. But I think when you start going over that 40 to 45, I think, because think about it, even when they scored 60 points against Alabama A&M, it wasn't because Shedeur threw 30 or 40 times. They ran the ball. It was really balanced. They was getting it from all type of different ways. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where
pretty much.
I think that's where Shedeur should be at the max 35. Like the only time it should go 40 if it's a straight shootout. If it's like a straight shootout between him and Andrew Body or something like that, to where the score is like 55 to 50, then okay, cool. But I think Shedeur should stay in that 35 to 30, and just be super, super efficient because he's super accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's super accurate. And I think, you can get the best out of him if you keep it balanced. That's just my personal opinion.
Sure. Well, I know his grade. No, I'm on the phone, bro. Yeah, I'm still not worried with him. Hey, like if you look at his PFF grade, this is a pretty solid grade. I think he's like a 81. Pro Football Focus grade is like 81. Second and it was a 90. I can't remember.
You talking about Shedeur?
I guess it's time for me to get back on the clock. Huh?
Who had the 90 grade? Who you talking about?
The PFF grade. I think I looked at it last night. The highest quarterbacks of the SWAC was it was Quill was number 1, Shedeur was number 2, and I think I'd look at it again tonight. I think McKay might have been number 3. Body grade. The PFF is kind of skewed. Body's grade wasn't great. It's like a 67, but it's kind of skewed. But one last thing before I go, You said that Jackson State had any way they want to versus Alabama A&M. Of course, like a freaking prom night. All right, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it. I don't know which air raid system you watch. Tell me a Mike Leach air raid system that valued the running game. Tell me the last time Mike Leach had a top 5 running back in the air raid system. Listen, don't worry, I'll wait. What? Air raid system with a dope running back? Like, don't get me wrong. I think that you'll have like the little scat backs and the guys out the backfield you toss it to, and boop, boop, they do all the little boopy bop. But you're talking about valuing the running. What? I don't even think in a whole season, if there's 12 games, he won't have 7. He wouldn't have 6 games where a running back goes over 100 yards. What are you talking about, Kenneth? That's that dumb stuff. That's that dumb stuff. Coming to you, Germany. Hey, calling you live.
Yo, what's up, bro? I was about to lay it down, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was about to lay it down.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at the comments and everything going crazy. So like I got 3 points, bro.
Go ahead.
Peep this. If Jackson State want to play them, strap it up and play.
Facts.
Strap it up and play. Don't be ducking. Strap it up and play. Like it is what it is. Like either you go out there and lose or you go out there and win. Number 2, if you're not gonna play North Dakota State, how about schedule up? Don't play a Campbell. Hey, that's a South Dakota State out there. There's an Eastern Washington that Tennessee State is playing. So applaud Tennessee State and North Carolina A&T for going up there to play Eastern Washington and North Carolina and North Dakota State. So if you're going, all right, you don't want North Dakota State, all right, cool, Kennesaw State. I'm down with that. I'll look at that game. I'll watch that. Number 3, air raid. Who said that about the air raid though? Who said that about the?
Kenneth cheat something.
Okay, peep game. Go watch the LSU game when the air raid dropped 600 yards, but only rushed for like 40. Yeah, that'll tell you what that is, and then watch their record at the end of the season.
Got you.
I'll wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that? No, don't do that. But no, they schedule up, bro. Like, if you don't want North Dakota State, schedule up. I like what Tennessee State doing. I like what they're doing. I like them scheduling the big dogs. Go play them. Strap it up. You don't cost. Look, you don't run from it. You got the top recruiting class in the country. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Got you. Hey, man, appreciate the call, though, as always, Jeremy.
Hey, appreciate it, bro.
Right,
appreciate it, bro.
Okay. Bro, okay. Texas Tech, because you know me, I like the fact check, right? I like the fact check. Bro, Byron Hampstead played for Texas Tech. Hansberry attended Texas Tech University where he played for Texas Tech football from 94 to 96. Mike Leach got there in 2000. Mike Leach got there in 2000, my boy. What are you talking about? Shut up. All right, and Blue just texted me, Mr. Walking Encyclopedia. He said Mississippi State rushed for a total of 821 yards last year as a team. As a team, 821 yards. Kenneth, shut up, bro. Shut up, okay? You tried it. You lost. Once again, shut up. All right? Closing the call lines down, man. I appreciate everybody that called in. Man, listen, man, it's just Bama just out here just saying stuff, man. Just be out here saying stuff. Oh, my God, the air raid values the running back. When? Not never. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Big Pen is 821 as a team is horrible. Running backs have that by themselves, okay? Listen, air raid is not what you think it is, okay, sir? So if you're a running back that went to Jackson State, they thought you was going to run the ball, think again. What is my JSU versus North Dakota State score? I would go 17-35. I would go 7. No, they don't. SWAT guys don't got no kickers. I would go 21. I think they will lose by 2 touchdowns. I would go 21-35. 21-35. I would go 21-35. I really want to do 17-35, but I want to go. I think they'll definitely lose by 2 touchdowns. Easily. 2 touchdowns. Jesus freaking Christ. How the freak do you rush for 4,000 yards? Are you freaking, what the hell is that? That is insane. 4,000. That's somebody's passing yards. You ran for 4,000 yards? Sheesh. Bro, Baylor, if you're talking about Baylor when Art Browser's there, that is a power spread. That is not a true air raid style. All right. If you're talking about when Baylor, when Art Browser's there, Art Brow runs a power spread. It's 2 different things. Air raid, power spread. 2 different things. Stop it. Jesus freaking Christ. That is ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. I don't think it'll be that bad. I don't think it'll be like 1 score or something like that. I don't think it'll be that rare. I don't think it'll be that rare. Air raid elements. Listen, man. Air raid elements in schemes that like there's the thing that is different when the air raid and power spread is, to me, how you read it, right? It's evaluated differently. And I wish I should give me like a little board. I'm gonna probably give you like a little board or whatever. This is how it works for me, right? When you're in a power spread, this is how it works. You read the box, right? You're reading the box, and this is some football insight. This is some football, right? So in a power spread, if the safety is down, we don't run, we throw. We have numbers outside the box. If the safety is back, we run. That's how the power spread is read. That's what a quarterback does within the power spread, right? So you're there, you're reading it. Okay, cool. The safety comes down. We're canceling the run. We're going power. We're going power. We're going spread. We're going to throw the ball, right? Then you pick out what side of the field you want to go to. If the safety is back, all right, you have numbers, you run the ball. That's how it works. The air raid is not like that. The air raid is simply like, we have a scheme, right? It's a flood concept. So it's a shallow, a mid, a over, or you have the mesh route with the 2-way option on the seam, right? So he can either make it a post or he can make it a go route, depending on how the safety plays it. And then you have it's a whole bunch of option routes based off of the passing concepts, right? So if it's cover 3, that route might be different than if it's a cover 2. That's how the air raid and stuff works. You have those tips also in power spread, right? You have those aspects like if the corner plays outside, you can turn it into a post. If he plays inside, you can turn it to a go. You have those tags. We call them tags on routes. You have that tag or whatever, but it's different, man. It's just totally different on how you do it. Exactly. It's a whole bunch of option routes tagged to it or whatever, but it's predominantly is throwing. You're not reading the box. You're not reading the box to run. You're reading the box to see what level of the field you're going to, right? So if they bring the safety down, okay, I should have the go route. The go route should be 1-on-1. If they bring the safety down, I should have the middle of the field. You know what I'm saying? That's how the air raid is read. It's not read based off of a run pass option. It's based off where do I go with the ball based on the alignment of the defense. It's 2 different things. Thank you. Based off the defensive alignment. Thank you so much. All right. So it's just different, man. Like the air raid is a predominantly throwing route. It's predominantly and listen, and it's usually read high to low. That's how it's usually read. Hey, yeah. You can call in, Blue. Yeah, call in real quick. All right. It's read high to low. So they want the deep play. They want the deep ball. Then they go middle. Then they got the dump off. In a air raid system, there is always a hot route or a dump off. It's just how the cookie crumbles. Let me open the call line up for my boy Blue.
There is one other participant in the conference.
All right, Blue. Hey, Mr. Carter, 5936. You're gonna have to call
All
back in.
participants are muted.
You're gonna have to call in another day. I'm waiting for my boy Blue to call. All right. So unless you want, hey, Blue ain't calling. I'll take your call. I'll wait for. Oh, no, never mind. Blue's here. Hey, what's up, Blue?
What's good, man? I just wanted to call in because I know Hezekiah wanted me to talk about the score. I mean, listen, all the score predictions of like 60-something, 50-something to whatever, that's not how North Dakota State wins. Like, you can go on YouTube. I want everyone to go look it up. There's a national championship game between North Dakota State and Jacksonville State. That is the game plan that North Dakota State's going to use in big games against good teams, because when you see the North Dakota States and South Dakota States put up 70-60, it's because they have teams that they just overpower. Like, if you go put them up against a Valley or a Pioneer team or someone that they overpower at every position, they're just too good, and everyone's going to get put up that many points. So what they're going to do, and I've told people about this about the A&T game, if you just look at the box score, it's going to look like A&T had a great game, because they're going to beat them like 28-3. Or 28-7 or 35-10. But when you watch the game, they're going to have 310 yards rushing. They're going to control the ball for 47 of the 60 minutes of the game. And A&T is going to have like 5 possessions total.
Dang.
And they're going to have 2 turnovers or something like that. North Dakota State's going to have none. That is how they dominate. That it is. If you're not a true football fan, that type of football is not conducive to you really being a huge fan of that team. You know what I mean? Because if you're not an O lineman or a running back, it's like they don't put the ball in the air unless they have to. And they're going to. They have their number one running back, the former 4-star from SMU. They have 2 or 3 3-stars behind them, and then they got some guys that they've developed from 2-stars that have been really good in terms of being backups. And they're going to rotate those guys for 60 minutes, and it's going to be fresh bodies, and their offensive line averages 6'5", 320. And they are just going to say, we're bigger than you, we're stronger than you, and we're going to run it down your throat until your fans go to sleep in the stands. And by the time they wake up, we're 35-0.
Wow. Hey,
Like,
Blue, let me ask you
ahead.
a quick question. So why Trey Lance and why Carson Wentz, if that's the style of play that they normally do?
Well, so the reason that it's good is because the quarterback looks good, because you don't have to make any crazy reads. And that's why when you look at Trey Lance's stats in college, he had like 20 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. You don't have to do anything special. And then also with the quarterback, you're getting put in advantageous situations because everyone's putting 8 in the box. Because it's like, okay, are we going to sit here and let them run down our throats for 8 minutes on this drive? Or are we going to put everyone in the box and just hope our DB can make a play? And then when you work off the play action and you have wide receivers like Christian Watson, and you work off the play action and they're one-on-one on the outside, guess what's happening one-on-one? Christian Watson is dogging most corners in the FCS. And so it puts quarterbacks in advantageous situations, and you know how the NFL works, man. It's the same thing going on with South Carolina State. Once there's a pipeline developed, they're going to go back to the pipeline that delivers them good players. And, you know, Carson Wentz, you can call him a bust, whatever. I mean, he had his moments. And Trey Lance, I think it's way too early to call him a bust, especially when all the reports out of camp are that he's
looking really good,
balling out.
Yeah, he's looking really good.
Yeah, and so quarterbacks, offensive linemen, and running backs, I mean, really and truly, and we talked about this in the Twitter spaces, why would you go anywhere else? For a running back, you're going to get 20 touches per game. Easy. And you're going to have the best offensive line, and you're going to be able to put up stats and get work, especially in the age of the spread offense where a lot of running backs don't get the touches that they used to. And, you know, I think – and that's the one thing that even I think real football fans have trouble understanding is how this program continues to do it, because I think – what makes their dynasty so different is that they've done it with 3 different head coaches. Mm-hmm. They've done it with Easton Stick to Carson Wentz to Trey Lance to the guy they have now started the year as a backup, comes in midseason, takes over for the 4-star Quincy Patterson, goes and takes him to the national championship. Woo. I mean, it's just it's a rarity, and I think it's something that it's going to be really hard to replicate. But I think my Jackson State score prediction, it would be similar to yours. I think it would be like a 28-10 game or something like that. But it would be, if you're a high flying football fan that only watches for big plays and things like that, man, that's not what you're going to get. Listen, to go back and look at the Kansas State upset, man, to win that game, they put together like an 8-minute drive where they ran the ball like 95% of the time and just drained the fourth quarter against an FBS team and went on and pulled off the upset against Kansas State on the road.
Man, listen, when you got a system that works, it works.
To put together that drive against a Power 5 team is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, man, I just wanted to call in and kind of give my perspective on it, man. But great show. I appreciate you opening back up the call lines for me, man.
Hey, no, anytime, Blue. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, later, bro.
All right, boy. All right, Mr. Carter, you got lucky. You waited, so I let you on. 5936 coming to you. Hey, what's up, Mr. Carter? You live. $5936, you live. All righty. You had your chance. Now you don't. All right. Listen, guys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm going to go watch that Jacksonville State game and North Dakota State game tonight so I can be up on it like my boy Blue. Like my boy Blue. All right. I'm going to make sure I tune into that. I came in after 2 hours. Yeah, man, you late, bro. You're late. All right. We've been on this thing. I've been on this thing for about 3 hours. See, that's how I need to start making some commercials. I need to start dropping my commercials. My girl gonna be like, see, I told you, get your commercials ready. I'm gonna get them next time. I always say next time. I'm gonna get them next time. I get so used to talking to y'all, man. I get so used to talking, man. I just can't help it. All right, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody. Make sure you tune in. As always, I will be on the road Friday. Me and my girl headed down to Tallahassee. We headed down to Tally. Okay, we're gonna be down in the FAMU backyard. So probably no show on Friday. I'll probably be back on Monday with the Afterglow show. All right. So make sure you guys tune into my boy, me and Kofi. All right. On Monday. All right. So like I always do, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.